What's going on, people? It's good to be back on another live. It's Beer Monster o'clock. Let me know, peeps, if you can hear me, because last time I was chatting, just talking to myself for a while, because apparently the mic weren't working. And so, yeah, once somebody comes in, let me know if you can hear me. I think I've sorted out the lighting situation from last time as well. Although it's not doing me dirty t-shirt any justice, really. Let me just share it out to Facebook and all that good stuff. 2 seconds. There we go. Right, that's that done. Crack a beverage open, I suppose. Going for a Weinbacher Weissbier for the first one today. Yeah, I've not had a wheat beer since the last live, I think, so I'm looking forward to this. I think the lighting is better. Ronald's in. BOSH. How you doing, Ronald? Can you hear me, mate? Or have we got the same situation as we had last week? Because I've had a little tinker again, which normally means something goes wrong. So I'm hoping you're going to say you can hear me. There we go. Can you hear me, Ronald? Whoever else is in here? Is the sound all good? Because last time it didn't work. If someone can just confirm that the sound is working. Can hear you, solid pal. Good sound, actually. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I've got the microphone in a better position, I think. The lighting's a little bit better because I've gone back to my old camera rather than the built-in laptop one, because it's a little bit dark in this corner. I think that's what it was last time. But with this like other camera, because it's like a standalone one, it kind of like adjusts the lighting levels to sort it out, being a little bit dark in this corner. So yeah, but it's just another wire. It's annoying. So many wires. Got you on the laptop. Sounds decent, bud. Oh, nice one. I had to get one of them adapters for my laptop. I needed more USB slots because it only come with like 1 or 2 slots on it. That was the only downside. But I bought a little adapter, gave me an extra 5 slots, and I still barely made it work because I've used up all of them. Oh, that's good. How you all doing, people? Anyway, hope you've had a good week. Michael Slogan was in. My beer legend, miss you so much. Oh, I miss you too, Michael. Nice to see you, mate. Yeah, it's good to be back. I've definitely missed the lives. Box, Jamie's in. What's up, Jamie? How you doing, bud? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, nice to see you too. Yeah, so I thought I'd have a little play around. I was planning on starting a little bit earlier tonight because the kids ain't got judo because the school holidays, Easter holidays. But instead, I decided to mess about with the setup and try and get a little bit better because it was a bit dark last time. Well, that did feel quite cozy. All good. What about you? Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm sure like most of you would have seen the video the other day. I just felt like opening up because I don't think enough guys open up about their problems and stuff, especially not on like something like YouTube. So it was quite a hard video to make, and I didn't really know how it was going to go down, if you know what I mean, just being that honest. But I felt better after, actually, and I've had a lot of nice comments on that video. And yeah, it's made me glad that I've done it, actually. Not just comments on the video itself, but people messaging me like privately and stuff like that, and telling me that they have got similar problems to me and things like that. And yeah, in a way, it's nice to know that it helps some people sort of reach out to me and start talking about it. Some people that perhaps couldn't talk about it before, which is kind of the whole purpose of the video, really. and to let you guys know why I was away for a week. I'm still not perfect, but I'm just deciding to carry on, until I know exactly what's going on. Just carry on the best I can. What are you guys drinking tonight? Michael Slocum, talk about your issues to your subscribers is a big thing, a big step. Well done. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I really wasn't sure whether to make it because you always know when you make a video like that, you're going to get some not so nice comments, and they can be quite hurtful. I know it's just somebody at home, keyboard wankers, I like to call them, just giving it large over their keyboard. But, maybe one negative comment against, I think it was about 80 comments on that video. I'll take that all day long. Warsteiner. Nice one, mate. Oh, the Warsteiner. I almost bought a little keg of that in Home Bargains. They sell it. I think it's $17.99 for 5 litres of it. But I don't know what it's like. Ignore the haters, they're not worth it. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there was only like one guy, I think I deleted his comment. And because I just thought, just ain't got time for it. I didn't even bother replying to it, And it's somebody I've never heard of before. It's not like it's one of me sort of loyal subscribers that I actually care about, who just sort of switched on me. It was just a random person that YouTube suggested the video to. So they don't know nothing about me, so I couldn't give a shit, really. So Ronald, just glad you're okay, mate, and you're back. You have our support. Cheers, mate. I really do appreciate all the support. Actually, it's been kind of mad, and yeah, as I say, it's a constant battle. It's not something that I'm just gonna, I'm better now or nothing like that. As far as the sort of anxiety and using alcohol and that for it, it's just a case of trying to get the right balance for me. I'll get there. All you can do is do your best, isn't it? But taking YouTube away didn't help me because I just felt really depressed then, And when you can't work and stuff, you've got a lot of time to sit there in your own thoughts. And YouTube keeps me busy, so it makes me feel more positive, keeps me more busy, it helps my confidence. And it's always great talking to you guys. I really missed the live last week. I was like, I hasn't really done it. I was like, oh god, I was itching to go live. Don't know how many people are going to get tonight because I think there's a few other people streaming as well. But if it goes really dead, I could always jump on with someone else if you just want. I noticed Simo started streaming just before I started, cheeky sod. He knows I do Friday nights. I was going to jump on with him, but I thought I'd come on first, just to talk more personally to my subscribers and that, because I find I like going live with other people, but the only thing I don't like about it is I like the interaction with you guys, and I feel like it comes a bit about the interaction between me and whatever person I'm going live with, rather than the interaction with the comments and the subscribers and that, And it's quite difficult to get the balance right when you've got people on, because you can't really just say, oh, shut up, I want to talk to my subscribers a minute. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes you do feel like that. And I don't know if other people feel like that. Michael's slogan, I got ID for the first time at Sainsbury's today, and I'm 27. You're 27. Thursday next week, I'm 28 and getting ID for beer. But they serve me lots of times. Yeah, it only takes one person. It's normally someone old who's just, because you're younger than them, they think you're about 12. Believe it or not, even I got ID'd last year by some old girl. And I'm thinking, seriously, I've got like grey hairs in my beard, a couple of kids with me, tattoos up my arm, a full beard, and you're asking me for ID. That's just common sense. And I always give it that, you should see it as a positive thing, being asked for ID. I mean, it's good for your age. Well, I don't see it as a positive thing because I've got no ID on me, and now I can't have my bloody beer. I've got to walk to the car to tell the missus what happened so that she can walk in and get the beer anyway. So either way, I'm getting the beer. You're just making life more hard work for me. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we can't serve her then when she comes in. And I just think, we don't know what she looks like. Ha. Mr. Ronald, 2 is okay, but some channels have like 4 or 5 people on the live stream sometimes. It's too messy. Yeah, I think some people can do it right when they've got more guests on, and I think they're the ones that kind of pan to individual persons. Like, let's just say, for example, somebody asks a question, "What's your favorite beer in the world?" The person who's kind of hosting that stream will say first what they think, and then they'll pin the camera onto each one of the guests and get all the opinions. That's more of a sort of structured thing, which I wouldn't have the first clue how to do. But yeah, I know what you mean, Ronald. When it's just 2, maybe 3, it's okay. But then sometimes when you've got like 8 people there, everybody wants to talk, and it's just everybody talking over each other. And you look at people, certain people, and you think you can tell they really want to talk, but these 2 won't shut up or, or whatever. You see it, don't you? You can almost read their minds. Oh, that's nice to have a Vice beer again. I've only got 2 of them though. Paul Greenwood's in. How you doing, Paul? Right, beer monster. You're okay, pal. There's a heart right over that comment, and I can't read it. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Like I say, that video that I made the other day that I think most of you's watched actually, it got a lot of views, which is good because it helps like awareness in that. It's not like I've all of a sudden that's how I'm feeling and be worried about me, and sort of it wasn't like a cry for help or nothing. That's been going on for years. That cycle for me has been going on for a very long time. I just told you about it pretty much. It's not like a new thing. The only new thing is the what's the bleeding name for it? Shows how much attention I pay, isn't it? Anemia. That's the one. The anemia, and somehow I've got anemia, but my iron levels are okay. That's the only new thing. But that's what I think. If I was to guess, it's been causing me a lot of problems this year. My health's just plummeted a bit this year, regards to breathing and coughing fits and stuff like that, as you will know from before when they tested me for asthma and stuff like that, which they're still doing. But it's yeah, time will tell. I mean, I've got more tested done. I said, if you watched the video the other day, they're testing my shit at the minute. That weren't as bad as it sounds. I mean, we always end up talking about shit, or I always end up talking about shit. But you think of it, I mean, some of you have probably had to do it before. You just get told by the doctor on the phone, yeah, I want to test your shit. Don't worry, you just got to go into the doctors and ask for a stool samples kit. You need 2 of them. Don't worry, it was quite embarrassing, isn't it? Hello there, good afternoon. Can I have a couple of stool sample? There's all people sitting in the background and that. The old stool sample kits. Yeah. Oh, I need another one. Wendy, do you know where the stool sample kits are? I watched the week. I wanted wheat beer tonight, says Ronald, but no Frankie and Morrison's. Ah, that's unusual, isn't it? It's not the sort of thing that sells out because wheat beers, a lot of people don't really know about them, do they? Stuntman Steve's Tavern. Hey, beer monster. Hope you're good, sir. I'm good, thanks, Stuntman. Great to see you, mate. Thanks for joining the live. Fair play to you for doing that video, mate. Cheers, mate. I mean, as I say, it's a difficult thing to do, but I just, I think there's too many guys, to be sort of blunt, that keep things to themselves, and they end up doing themselves in. You hear about so many people, and I've known people personally committing suicide and stuff like that. And sometimes you don't even know why they've done it. And the reason you don't know why they've done it is because they didn't talk to anyone. They kept it to themselves because they didn't feel that they could talk about it. And it's about time that blokes started talking up. You know what I mean? Not everybody likes it. A lot of people will judge, but you know, at least I'm being real. At least I'm being honest about my problems. And a lot of people can't say the same thing. They just social media use it to paint their perfect life and that. And let's face it, real life ain't like that. You know. Have you been a smoker for a long time? Paul Greenwood, I gave up smoking a long time ago, but I'm just on the e-cigs now. I gave up smoking about 10 years ago, but every now and again, if I've run out of liquid, and it's very rare, and I can't get any older than the one I like from the shop, I have the odd fag. That's very rare. Or if I run out of battery and I'm out, which I don't often go out, so that hardly ever happens. But occasionally it happens. But when it does happen, I'm like, oh, give me the vape any day over the real cigarettes. But I gave up smoking because I just smoked too much. It's like anything with me that's you can get some sort of enjoyment out of, I just get addicted to it. That's why I stay away from drugs. Because I know if I started doing something like cannabis or something like that, which I did do many years ago, but if I started doing that now, because some people do it to try and help their anxiety, for one, it's too strong now, so I don't think it would help me. And even if it did help, it doesn't mean I'd give up the beer. It probably just means I'll do both. Do you know what I mean? So just keep away from anything else. It's not that bad, man. Honestly, they just hand it to you and it's easy. Oh, what the shit stool sample test? Yeah, it ain't that bad. It sounds bad, and I had this image in my head of like they were just going to give me like a bag to shit in, and just here you go. There's a little discreet envelope to put it in, and you just basically just got to get a little tiny sample of your shit. Hi, fella. What are we drinking? I'm on a Guinness. Oh, we're on the old Guinness. Is that the Guinness draft? What sort of Guinness you drinking, Tall Paul? I am on the Weinbacher Weissbier. It's like Aldi's cheap Weissbier. It's actually on offer at the minute, $1.49 instead of $1.69. But sadly, they've put the Steinhauser up, which is like my go-to lager in Aldi. But they put it up again. Only by 29p, but it's now $5.29 for 6 dumpies. But I think people are cottoning onto it, how good it is for the price. And so they're just chucking the price up. It gets overwhelming if you don't talk about it. It does, Michael. And I've been there. And in my lowest places, it's when I kept it all to myself. And you look around and you see other people your age and that. And you think, oh, they're working. And this person's doing that. And this person's got a car. Or that person's bought a house. And then there's me, and you start getting all down about it and stuff like that. And just keep having all the negative thoughts to yourself is a dangerous thing. And it was for me back then. I mean, I've done all sorts of things back before I started speaking more openly about it, from self-harm to suicidal thoughts, all sorts of things in the past. And I think where I've had mental health problems for so long, they don't go away. You just learn how to better cope and deal with them. And you go through a lot of bad decisions and ups and downs before you get to that stage where you can cope better. And even when you get there, you can still slip back down again. It is a constant battle. Stuntman Steve's Tavern. Exactly, dude. Real life ain't pretty. It's not pretty, yeah. Exactly. But like with women, they talk about these things, don't they? They sit there and they talk about it. Men are just like beer, football, and slags, or whatever. Yeah, it's a bit more difficult for us fellas, isn't it? Especially if you're a builder or you're working like in a macho job or something, surrounded by the lads all bantering and all that. It's not easy to talk about, is it? It's probably better to kind of pick one of the people that you get on with the best, that you think will give you the time of day, and maybe just speak to one person at first. Mimic, how you doing, Mimic? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for joining the live. Loved your recent video on the health issues. You're right, we should talk more about mental health. You want to Paul under Hellers? Lovely. I've not had that for a while. Got it from Majestic Wines and it's super fresh. Nice one, mate. Yeah, definitely mimic. I mean, I really wasn't sure how people were going to take it. And in all honesty, that video is just literally scratching the surface of the stuff I've been through personally. Um, and I might talk about it more one day. The video is very popular, especially as far as engagement goes. Uh, that's one thing that really struck me about that video. There's so many comments compared to just like a normal beer review. And to me, that shows that there's so many people out there that can relate to that video that I made, that perhaps have been like that in the past, or they're going through it now, or maybe they know somebody who's like it. That's the sort of comments I was getting. Really understanding comments, and yeah, it kind of makes you wake up and realize, like, wow, there's so many people out there, and there's not really much help, is there? Mr. Ronald, I'm the same, mate. Addictive personality, yeah. Yeah, that's why I try and stay away from even just trying something, just in case I like it. Do you know what I mean? Same with this thing. I've barely got any nicotine in it now, but it's just addicted just to using it. It's got to be better than smoking, though, isn't it? Oh, let's get some of this face beer out of me. I was going to get a couple of non-alcohol free beers in today and sort of mix them about a bit, like I said about in that video. But I'm decided tomorrow I'm going to have a clean day instead, and then just enjoy tonight. Yeah, I have a clean day tomorrow because on Sunday we're going to go out with the family somewhere, so it'd be nice to have a nice straight head. Well, I'm going to do my best anyway. It doesn't mean, let's say clean day, it doesn't mean I necessarily won't have nothing, but that's the plan. But sometimes, you know, you slip and you end up having a few. Well, I do personally anyway. But I'm off on holiday next week on Tuesday as well, till Monday. So yeah, there may not be that many videos up next week. I'm not sure. Paul Greenwood, it's alcohol and cigs, mate. You can either handle it and close it off, or it takes over your life faster, mate. And that makes sense. Mm. There's a lot of people that I think handle it and close it off as well. People that you probably don't even realise that are having that battle in their head because they're good at hiding it. And I was very good at hiding it as well. Like when I first started saying about my problems, people were like, "No way!" Especially when I was younger, like in school and stuff like that. I was like the joker of the class and things like that. And people were like, "No way, you ain't got these problems." But then even sometimes the people that I do joke around and stuff like that, that in its own way is a mask. You know, you don't want people to see how miserable you are, so instead you try and be funny to cover it up. It's weird how the mind works. And I've had all sorts of people messaging me, people saying to me, someone, so I won't mention any names, but there was someone said like, as far as alcohol and like anxiety, they were doing the same thing. They're using it as like a kind of coping mechanism, and they literally wouldn't go out, they wouldn't talk to anybody, they'd be miserable, they'd just be like an arsehole, basically, they said in their own words, unless they had a couple of beers just to sort of settle the nerves and that before they went out, then they'd be fine. Have a good holiday. You deserve a break. I can't wait for another beer review. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, it's only like a little seaside holiday. Romney Marsh we're going to, just for like a few days, right next to the beach and that. Just get away from home for a few days. I'm looking forward to it. Ronald says, I've had Tuesday and Wednesday off this week. Well done, mate. It feels good even a couple of days off, even though I still fancy beer. Yeah, you want it, didn't you? But then when you do sort of manage to have them days off, the next day you're glad you've done it because you've got a clear head for a change, sort of thing. But it's the whole, for me, when you plan to take that day off, if I'm honest, the thing for me is you just get, like, if like me, you use alcohol as a way of dealing with a personal problem, you're trying to take that day off, you start feeling a bit rough, you start feeling more anxious than usual, whatever it may be. And you know that the thing to solve that problem is just in the fridge next door. Or even if you ain't got none in the fridge, the shop around the corner. And it's so easy just to take that easy way out to feel better in that moment, even though the next day you're going to feel worse, possibly more anxious. But just knowing at that particular time when you're suffering, there's kind of like a medicine, an instant feel better solution to that problem. But it's only a short term problem, and it's not the answer. But it's hard not to take that solution when you're struggling in that moment. You know. Paul Greenwood, I can drink for many days, then bang, not a drink for a week. That's really good that you can do that, Paul. That's really good that you can do that. I wish I could do that. You know, just sort of look at myself and think, oh, I could do it for a break of a week. Bosh, just have a week off. That'd be perfect. Even like give your body a bit of a detox, and then you can sort of go back on it again a bit, and you know, your body had a bit of a break. Liver's cleared itself out and all that. Do you find once the first 3 days is out of the way, it's easier? Yeah, that's a good question for Paul there, because I couldn't even get to them 3 days, but it'd be interesting to know whether it does get easier if you do manage it. Let's all be honest, going out is expensive, not being funny, life's changed, pubs are not the same anymore or don't exist. That's very true. Very, very true. Or you can't afford to go to the pub. It's cheaper to drink indoors. I mean, some people can still afford to drink in the pub, but the vast majority of people have not got that sort of money, have they? Paul Greenwood. First couple of days, and you challenge yourself to do longer. So, in a sense, Paul, you mean like take it one step at a time, one day at a time. Lecro Faction. Evening, how you doing, mate? Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you've had a good week, mate. Good to see you. Steve, no booze tonight, minus a tooth. Oh, God, what's happened? My gal better says I should have a tooth removed every Friday. Surely alcohol would circulate. Surely alcohol would satize. I can't. What you bit? I don't understand what you bit, mate. Mr. Ronald, Paul Greenwood. The first couple of days is hard. I manage Monday to Friday. After that, sometimes you have to take the break. Yeah, Mimic, you're 100% right, mate. Alcohol for me is a fix-all. It cures loneliness, boredom, sadness, stress. I also love it so much. I love talking about it, reading about it, learning about it. Yeah, it's a bit like me. Mimic. The thing that I don't like is that I'll quite happily sit down in front of my computer when all the kids are in bed and the missus is in bed. I'll quite happily just sit there on my own, having a beer, playing a bit of Xbox or PC games, watching some other YouTubers chatting in their lives and things like that. And that's the thing. I'm on my own. I'm literally on my own drinking, and I'm quite happy that way. Because I'm not the most social person in the world, which is why I'm surprised that I enjoy these live streams so much. In real life, I mean, what's there now? 15 people in here. if you put me in a room with you 15 people, say we was all in the pub, I would really struggle. I would really struggle. I'd find it really overwhelming. Just little things like I'd have to go somewhere where I can see everybody. Just little things I have, like I'd like to be back against the wall so I can see everything that's going on. I hate people being behind me. Like I'm happy here, like it's back against the wall. Like when I was at my computer doing it before, I used to hate it if one of the kids were behind me or whatever and I can't see what they're doing. I don't know why that is. It just really winds me up. Does anybody else have anything like that? But I don't like people being behind them. Freddie Burst, how's it going, mate? How you doing, Freddie? In the pub with the lads, different pub to my local, so trying a pint of Estrella, mate. Not bad, to be fair. Not sure of the percent. I think it's around 4.6 to 4.8. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, it's not too bad actually. And enjoy your pints in the pub, mate. I've not been to the pub for a while. Paul Greenwood, yeah, first 2 or 3 days off beer fucks with your body, and then your system levels out, and you can sleep better and feel better. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, alcohol is not the long-term answer. You did a dry month somehow. The first 10 days are hard. After 2 weeks, you realise it would be a shame to give up. You've come a long way. Yeah, I can imagine you think to yourself, even if you might fancy it, but you sort of think, don't want to undo all that hard work because you might just go back to your old ways after one drink, I suppose. Luke Chelsea. How you doing, Luke Chelsea? Beer's a coping mechanism for sure. I've noticed I've used a lot lately when stressed and anxious. I noticed lately I've drunk more since my dad was diagnosed with cancer. I'm really sorry to hear that, Luke. Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise you're more stressed. You're needing that escape in you. It's probably why you're drinking more. And again, you know it's not the answer, but when you're hurting inside, if you've got something there that helps, it's difficult. Paul Greenwood, has that just been recently or been a long time being a monster? A long time. Long time for me. I think it's a generic thing that runs between some of the boys in my family. Not like, well, drinking alcohol, such, but problems with anxiety, mental problems. My brothers have similar issues. They're not the same, but they're very similar, and we all got one thing in common. Me and my brothers, we use alcohol as a way of helping it. Well, one of my other brothers is more for drugs and stuff and that as well. It's different people have their ways, didn't they? But yeah, for me, it all started when I realised I had a problem. I was 23, a problem with anxiety. But I haven't had therapy and stuff like that now. I actually realised that it was way before then, way before the age of 23. I just didn't know what anxiety was. Back when I was at school, it didn't exist. Depression and anxiety, nobody really knew anything about it, or it just didn't. I didn't even know it existed or what it was. And it's only when I had the therapy and that, and they took me back to my childhood, that I realised I was actually having panic attacks and stuff like that in school. But at the time, I thought it was an asthma attack, and the teachers thought it was an asthma attack, and they actually took me to the hospital where they tested me, and they went, "Oh, it doesn't seem to have asthma. We'll just give them a pump anyway," sort of thing. But looking back, now I realise it was anxiety. Even in primary school, so it was always there. But I think when I become an adult, there's a few things that happened in my life, and it just went whack, and it just completely destroyed me and brought it all out. Relationship, separation, losing kids, things like that, and then it just came out, and it just overtook me over the space of a few years, and I had to quit working and all that sort of stuff. I thought it'd just be a temporary thing. Doctors kept giving me sick note after sick note after sick note, and then after about 5 years, I think it was about 5 years, I got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. Before that, I had agoraphobia. I did not leave the house for years. If I left the house, I would just pass out, and it took me a long time to overcome that. I'm pretty good with that now, as long as I don't go out by myself. But that's not a nice one, the old agoraphobia. Paul Greenwood, I read that one. Mr. Ronald, yeah, you can't sleep properly first few days off beer. I don't sleep properly anyway, so I don't think that one will bother me so much. Although sometimes it would be a lot easier if you're trying to have a night off, if you could just have an early night, hit the pillow and go to sleep, wouldn't it? Because then when you're asleep, it's not bothering you, is it? So the fact that trying to take a day off messes up your sleep just makes it harder, doesn't it? I'm just going to grab another beverage. Back in a sec, people. Bloody computer games, I tell you. Kids off school, flat out on the Xboxes and PlayStations. There you go, man. 2 seconds, people. It's face not recognised. Oh, that's Simo. He's sent me a message. He's gone live with Rate My Beer. If you want to join along with him. What do you think, guys? I don't really mind either way. It'd be nice to try and help Simo get some more subscribers because he's coming up to 1K now. Let's catch up with the old comments. Yeah, Luke, the pandemic and that really didn't help a lot of people. Being locked indoors is not good for anyone. It's really not. Not being able to get that exercise and that fresh air makes you realise how important it is when it's taken away from you, doesn't it? Well, that's some deep stuff, man. But fair play for opening up. Yeah, cheers, Paul. I mean, I've done well to come to where I am now compared to where I've been, but I've just not always gone the right way about it, if you know what I mean. I've definitely been a lot worse as far as mental health goes than what I am at this present moment. A lot worse. So that video wasn't like a help me sort of thing. I've been way worse. I've not been able to leave the house for years. Way worse. I've harmed myself. I've just literally not wanted to be alive. I've been that bad. So I'm way past that, way over all that. But with all that has come a lot of experience that I think that I could help other people with as well. Because it was not bloody easy. Philster, good evening, Philster. Thanks for joining, mate. I hope you've had a good week. Michael Slocum, I went to Co-op instead and you went to the Co-op and got a mixture of beers. I'm good now. All 10 beers to enjoy. We got a full mix up with 10 different ones each other. Luke Chelsea, I don't know why your messages keep getting retracted. The last couple of messages you've sent, it just says message retracted. I'm not sure why, whether you were swearing or what, but it's not me. It's just YouTube automatically doing it, bud. Mate, you should get in contact with Raggy from Raggy's Beer Reviews. He talks about his mental struggles too. I know of Raggy and I have watched some of his stuff, but I don't know him personally. I've never spoken to him personally. I've commented on a few of his videos and that, but I've not seen any of his stuff about mental health. I think I discovered Raggy. I think there was one time I had a beer and I thought, God, that was bad. Let's see what other people thought of it. And his channel was one of the ones that come up, and I was like, oh yeah, and he hated it as well. So I thought it weren't just me then. And interestingly, the last time I watched him was about a month ago when I'd done I tried mead in a video, and after I'd done it and reviewed it, I thought, let's see if I doubt anybody's tried it because it's mead, but let's see if anybody else has reviewed this mead. And funny enough, Raggy had done the mead, the sour one, which I'd done. I don't know if you watched that video, but it was the worst smelling beer I've ever smelt on the channel. It smelled absolutely disgusting. And so yeah, I watched his review of it, and he was exactly the same as me. He was like, "Oh, what is that? Oh, like, no." But it actually tasted all right. But the smell of this beer, tell you, like, never smelled anything like it. Absolutely shocking. Oh, he has anxiety and depression. Very genuine guy. Yeah, I like what I've seen of Raggy. I do like what I've seen of him. Very chilled out, isn't he? I see that thing with him. Was it last year where he went to a festival, got a bit pissed up, and ended up falling over or something? Listen, it happens, doesn't it? Especially when you're on the old like craft beers at 8% and stuff like that. Cool. He's been doing it for a while, hasn't he, Raggy? I mean, what do you think, guys? Would you rather stick to myself tonight and talk to you guys more personally, which I'm quite happy to do, or we can go and jump on with Simo and rate my beer? It'll be a lot more lively, probably a lot more entertaining, but a lot less engagement as far as like the comments and that go, if I'm perfectly honest, especially if rate my beer's involved. he's a guy, he is, when he gets going. Oh. So has anybody been up to anything exciting in these holidays? Or has anybody been stuck at home with the kids? Me. Well, we try and get them out every day, especially about the young ones, to burn off some energy. Also, who would like me to do some more videos about men's mental health? I'm not quite sure where I would go with it. Perhaps I could go through the issues I mentioned more in detail about how it's affected me, things I do to help, things that don't help. You know, I'm not really too sure I could go with it. But considering it's a channel about beer and I randomly made a channel about mental health, I was quite surprised at the amount of interaction in that video. Not necessarily the amount of views. Although it did get good views. I think it's sitting at about 800 views or something now. But I think there's 80 odd comments on that video. I've had videos with 3,000-4,000 views, and I've not had that many comments. Not even close. Great idea, mate. More people should openly discuss it, in my opinion. Yeah, they should do, but it's not easy, is it? It's not an easy thing. Michael Soken, I'm waiting for you and Simo. You're watching, was that me and Simo live now on your iPad? And nothing phone to. Oh, you got two devices, one watching me and one watching Simo. You nutter. Luke Chelsea, stick to yourself. You won't get a word in if Rate My Beer is involved. They'll be pissed already. What I might do is join them a little bit later. Talk to you guys for a bit and then join them a little bit later. Let me just message Simo. Or was Simo asking for help because Rate My Beer's on one? Or maybe he's just started. He's all right when he first starts. It's just when he's smashed. I've just messaged him. What's everyone drinking tonight? Says Lecro. We've got lots of devices I can watch you both on. Mum's in the house. Linda. How you doing, Mum? Nice to see you back, darling. Oh, thank you. It's good to be back. It is good to be back. I missed it last week. I did miss it. I felt, don't know, just always something I look forward to the lives and just weren't there all of a sudden. Let Crow faction. I want the Budvar to start. And you've got a couple of Budvar Dark. That's nice, Budvar Dark. Budvar's nice as well. I just personally more of a Pilsner, Quell, or Staropramen person. But I do like Budvar. It's not a bad beer. I just prefer a bit more of a bitterness. Tom Sharnock, evening. Nice to see you back, Beer Monster. Drinking Hobgoblin Ruby. Thanks, Tom. It's good to be back, mate. I hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. Hobgoblin Ruby. I've not had that for a while. It's changed though, isn't it? It's not as good as what it used to be. I don't know whether you know that or not, Tom, but the brewery got taken over, didn't they? The Witchwood Brewery got taken over, and the beers have been lowered. And of course, with that goes a lot of flavour. Luke is currently in bed. My 5 a.m. alarm for work will come soon. No beer for me tonight. Oh, I feel sorry for you, mate. 5 a.m. Oh. Steve, in the long run, alcohol disrupts your sleep and it will intensify your anxiety. Having said that, I love cask ale and red wine. Sorry for letting the side down. I cut down, but still drink too much. I made you enjoy what you enjoy, didn't you? I mean, I like beer, but I have the odd glass of wine when I'm around my mum's house, actually. All good. Just back from Spoons with Charlie and Beck. Foddy and Slimline for me. Foddy and Slimline. What, vodka and gin and tonic Slimline? Oh, vodka and tonic. Slimline tonic. Is that what you mean? I think so. Richard Brewery, yeah. Didn't know they'd changed though. Good to know, yeah. If you look at your bottle of Hobgoblin, Tom, and then check it from like a while back, you'll notice it's had a few. I think it's like 0.3% ABV knocked off it or something like that. It might even be more. A lot of their beers have. Oh, you do mean vodka slimline? Because you don't hear that often of people drinking vodka and tonic water now, do you? We used to, not so much now. A lot of people have gone to gin, haven't they? I think the lighting's definitely better this week, but it's making me look bald. Well, I'm getting a bit bald, I suppose. Very thin. Yeah, you'll get old, don't we? What flavour vape? You want beer monster, raspberry here. To be honest, last night I ran out of my normal one, and I sort of had little bits and pieces of stuff left, and stuff. It's just a mixture of all sorts, and it tastes horrible in a minute. But I did get some more from Home Bargains a minute ago, which I'm about to put in it, and hopefully it starts tasting better. It's called Fusion. I think it's like a mixture of different berries. It doesn't actually say, but I've had it before, and to me, it tastes like a mixture of like blackberries, cherries, and stuff like that with a little bit of menthol. I could be wrong. That's just what it tastes like to me. You're beautiful inside and out. Oh, 14 people in. Cheers, guys. 4 likes. Been going for 51 minutes. That's gone quick. I've only had one beer. There's all the talking now. I've been doing too much of that. It's making me drink less of that. One beer, about a beer and a half. Normally I do a beer about every 20 minutes, so. Back now and then, I remember a few weeks ago, you were giving it the best of the rest, mate. What? Everyone liked the stream. Sorry, a bit of rest. Yeah. Giving it a bit of a rest, yeah. I wasn't taking it down. Now I've gone back to taking it down, to be honest. Which is probably why I've started coughing more again, actually, since I started taking it down again. I think it's just habit, and it's just a habit. I was really having to think about not taking it down when I was really struggling with the breathing. And then as the breathing got better, naturally I started taking it down because I was doing it without coughing. Whereas when I was really struggling, as soon as I took it down, I'd cough my gaps up. So that was a quick reminder not to take it down. Do you know what I mean? It's Friday night. Everyone deserves a beer. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm going to take tomorrow off. Well, that's the plan anyway. You know, it doesn't always go to plan. But, well, I say take tomorrow off. The plan is just to do a review. Then hopefully that'll sort me out. Do a review. And then just watch a film or something, go to bed. So I'll have a drink tonight instead. At least I'm talking to you lovely people, not sat there on my own. Luke Chelsea, will you be uploading any reviews on Saturday or Sunday? At the minute, Luke, I've not been feeling that great. So I'm sort of doing it as and well when I feel up to it. I've not got no beer reviews ready at the minute. I've not done anything tonight because I'm doing the live. But likelihood will be I film one tomorrow night and post it on Sunday. So I reckon the next you'll probably hear from me will be Sunday, unless I will get a random idea to make a stupid short or something like that comes into my head, which I never really know with that. Used to happen a lot. I've calmed down a bit with the shorts lately. Same here, mate. You got to have a night off tomorrow. Doing a marathon on Sunday. Oh, good luck, mate. I've also not got a lot in to review, really. When I took a break from making videos, I sort of drank all my stock. Thought it was supposed to be reviewed. It wasn't that many. It's not as bad as it sounds, but I probably had about 15 beers in the fridge, and I got through them over the course of the week. All different beers, which I wanted to review. Only a couple of them survived. I still got that red delirium tremens to review. All the stuff Simo sent me got drunk. And the stuff, most of the stuff from that mystery box and that went, a lot of them went down the sink though, because they didn't taste right. Luke Chelsea, a question I've always wanted to ask many YouTubers. Do you make money at all from YouTube? It depends. Me personally, yes, but I don't make a lot. You need to, there's a few ways you can make money. One is through getting your channel monetized. Once you've got 1,000 subscribers, you can apply basically for a job with YouTube. If they accept you, which they do most of the time, they start putting adverts on your videos, and you get paid when people watch the adverts. Pretty much pennies, not a lot. Another thing you can do is get a sponsor. Sometimes you're watching a video and people say, "Oh, today's sponsor," and they just mention it quickly. That pays quite well, depending on the sponsor. That pays a lot better than the ads. The ads don't pay well at all. I'll give you an idea. I've had one of my better months, even though I took that week off. You can see that's £38 in a month, in 28 days. Sorry, that's in the last 28 days. I made £38, and my channel was watched for nearly 1,000 hours, 88 new subscribers, 19k views. Oh yeah, you don't make a lot of money. It's a little bit of extra money for me to buy some beers with. And that £38, I think, that I've made the last month. That includes the money that Ronald donated to the channel a couple of weeks ago on the stream. So that's the rest. That's the £10 he gave, and the rest of that, the £28 from adverts. So it's pennies really, isn't it? But I don't do it for money. Don't get it wrong. One day I'd love to make some money out of it. Who wouldn't like to make money out of doing something they enjoy? But for me, I just enjoy doing it. And if the money comes one day, it comes. If it don't, I'm having fun anyway. I'm not too worried about it. But at the end of the day, to make a lot of money from adverts, you need to have a views. To make a sort of money, I would say, from what I've learned, to earn maybe, say on average, it varies a lot between channel to channel, especially ones where they get given a lot of donations. But if you're just making money off adverts alone, I'd say you need to have at least 50,000 subscribers to even consider giving up your day job. At least 50,000 subscribers, and you need to be getting at least 3,000 or 4,000 views a day throughout your whole sort of catalogue. More than that, probably. Maybe even more, like 10,000. I don't know. Basically, you make £6 per 1,000 views on average, but then YouTube take 30% of that. So yeah, unless you've got like a load of subscribers. Yes, you can make big money off YouTube if your channel's big enough. My channel's tiny. If I had 1 million subscribers, likelihood is I'd be a millionaire. So, but I ain't. But there are people out there that do have 1 million subscribers, and they probably are millionaires. You're drinking Delirium Tremens now. Nice. That's a nice beer, that, isn't it? I've got the red one in the fridge to review. I've not tried the red one yet. I love the Delirium Tremens. Steve, I've got to wait until Sunday lunchtime for a bevy. Should have a tooth out every Friday to keep you off it. That's a lot of smacks in the mouth, mate. It's a good one. Yeah, that was one of the first beers that made me realise what I've been missing. Because before I started the channel, I was just your average guy as far as beer goes that just drunk your macro crap that you get in the pubs. And there was a few beers that I randomly tried. That was one of them. And I was like, wow, what am I missing out on here? If you get sponsored, how much does YouTube take? If you get sponsored, it just goes direct from the sponsor. It would just be something like they'll work differently. Some of them will pay you for just saying, oh yeah, check out this new energy drink, blah 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 blah. Depending on how many views that video gets, the sponsor will pay you per view, because they count that as per view of their advert. Or you get ones where they give you a code. Say, for example, oh yeah, this beer website's really good. If you want to check it out, the website below, use my code 10% off to get 10% off. Well, that 10% you get off, I would get basically paid, so to speak. There's all different ways you can do it. Obviously, the bigger the channel, the better the sponsor you're going to get, and all that sort of stuff. And beer isn't really it as far as sponsors go. Things like technology reviews and that are good, because you'll get companies sending you free laptops, free gaming consoles, free TVs, PCs, all that sort of good stuff to review for free. And then you get to keep it after. Some of these things cost a lot of money. So you can sell them or keep them, or do what you want. But there's something on TikTok like that. On TikTok, I haven't bothered doing it, but they've invited me to do TikTok Shop, it's called. Where, for example, if I do a beer review on TikTok, which I always do them for YouTube and then just chuck them on there as well. If I've done it specifically for TikTok, let's just say, I don't know, let's say Guinness sponsored me. Guinness, let's say like that's a Guinness bottle opener, right? I could sort of do my beer review. Let's crack the beer open with my Guinness bottle opener. If you want to buy one of these, down below, you can click on the link and it costs you $5. And then I'd get like half that money or whatever. TikTok do it like that. So you feature things in your video. Like could just be wearing a cap or a t-shirt. And I'll just mention it in my video. And anybody that buys it, I'll get a portion of the money. I just can't be bothered with it. I don't want to sell things. I just want to review beer. You want to say hello?
Yeah.
Tyler wants to say hello.
Hello, darlings.
Hello, darlings.
It's Beer Monster Club.
What are you doing, Tyler?
I just came to say hi.
You came to say hi?
Yeah.
What are you doing though?
I'm just playing Fortnite with Jaden.
Fortnite, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I had something to eat.
So you didn't come to say hi, you come because you want food.
Yeah, the camera knows now.
What do you want?
Anything, I'll go look.
Alright, go and have a look. Tell them what you want. Some people do it for the clicks, to be honest. It's a breath of fresh air watching your channel. I think your channel will catch on with a lot more people, mate. You're a breath of fresh air and you'll change from a lot of fake people on YouTube who put on an act. Cheers, Luke. I mean, I've actually been quite happy with how the channel's gone, to be honest. Comparing it to other channels, I always mention things like people that do things like buy stuff from Iceland, cook it in the air fryer, and they get crap loads of views and make a lot of money. Anybody can do that, literally, and they get it attracts views because everybody eats, didn't they? Whereas with drinking, you've got less of a crowd. But when I compare sort of my channel, yeah, go on, shut the door though, Tyler, yeah. He's found some food he wants. Compared to other channels that do beer, like me, that are around the same age as my channel's doing very well. Just comparing it to the competition, if you like, or I don't see it as competition. I actually get on with a lot of other beer reviewers, and I like to help the new channels that are coming up and stuff like that a lot. Tyler, Dan said you're handsome for some reason. Nan said you're handsome.
Thank you, Nan.
He said thank you. What's up, sub 10? Good to see you, mate. Balked schlong. What's a balked schlong? Erect penis. Maybe that's a guess. Balked schlong. What is a balked schlong? Egg. Paul Greenwood, your channel is moving along nicely. Take your time. Don't have to post every day, man. Just a couple of times a week. Yeah, I've never felt like I had to post every day, to be honest. I just like doing it. If there was enough little beers to review and money was no object and they could just come to my door, I'd probably do a couple of days. I do a lot of stuff in home bargains because it's more affordable, and I think it's more for the everyday person, realistic. I like doing the stuff on Beers in Europe, and I like doing the craft beer and that. But let's face it, most people ain't going to spend £5 or £6 on a can of beer, are they? And it's pretty obvious that that's why they don't get the views, because, again, not a lot of people, well, not that many people drink beer to start with. And then the ones that do, how many of them are going to spend £5 or £6 on one can? Only your real sort of beer lovers that have got a few quid to spare, I'd say. Beer Monster. What's the most expensive beer you've ever brought? Yours was a Trappist Ale I brought back from Belgium that cost me 15 quid for 330 ml. Jesus Christ. I think you beat me, mate. That's a lot of money for one beer, isn't it? It's the most expensive beer I've ever bought. It's got to be getting mugged off in a pub in London or something like that. To be honest with you, it's probably for something bad like a Foster's or something. Probably paid about 10 for a pint of Foster's or something in London. As far as like most expensive beer I've probably reviewed is probably about 6 to 7 quid, because I just won't spend more than that on a beer, really. In fact, I don't like spending more than about 3 quid on a beer. Drinking Cruz Blanca, Mexico calling. Oh, that's the home bargains one, isn't it? That's a good one. That I reviewed that on the channel, mate. I enjoyed that. Jennifer Cross is in. Well, hiya, boys. She always comes in with a flirtatious message. How are we? How you doing, Jennifer? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I'm doing good, and I hope you're doing good. Evening, Parramatta. Good to see you, mate. Phil Star brought a Westie, 12 for 20 quid. That's not too bad. Welcome back. Thanks, Jennifer. It's good to be back. I particularly missed the lives and just the interaction and that with people. It is good to be back. Sub 10. The best beer you have had? That's such a difficult question because it depends. You'd have to ask me a particular style, like the best lager, best IPA, because there's such a diverse range of beers, isn't there? And even then, I'd probably struggle because I've tried so many now. You'd say something and then you forget about something else because it was a year ago that you reviewed it, sort of thing. I don't think there's many beers I've had that sort of stand out. It's like that, like, say for example, a lager. There's not many lagers that I've had where I've sort of had it and thought, wow, nothing I've ever tried has even been in the same league as that. There's kind of like an elite category for me, where I might put maybe 10 lagers in that elite category, and they're all very close. And depending on whether I fancy something bitter or sweet on any given day, that could change on what one's my favourite, so to speak. But a lot of the German stuff, when it comes to lagers and Weiss beers, they are top and they're so consistently good. If you're going to fork out a lot of money on a beer, if it's German, you're probably not going to waste your money. Whereas a lot of the other countries, you're taking a gamble, sort of thing. Obviously, Belgium. A lot of people like Belgian beer as well. I'm not as into my Belgian beer as my German beer, but I've not explored it as much, to be honest, because I've had a few that sort of scared me a bit, like sour beers and fruit beers and all that, and it's not really my thing. But I'm open to trying more because I have been known to come around to styles that I don't like. I used to hate stouts, and now I really like them. I see a new stout and I'm like, yes. But back when I first started the channel, I was like, oh, let's review a stout. Oh god. Most expensive drink I've ever bought was a double grey goose in Thailand with no mixer for 18 quid. 18 quid for a double grey goose. 18 quid. I'd expect a free ladyboy for that price. I didn't say that, did I? Do you shop in bottle shops much? I find I can rarely get a beer for 103 quid. I don't, mate. I don't. I'm a bit of a bargain hunter. I go around these sort of B&Ms, your home bargains, stuff like that. Mainly do supermarket outlet shops and stuff like that. Every now and again, if I'm really struggling to find stuff in the supermarkets, I'll make an order from Beers of Europe, House of Trembling Madness, something like that, and be like, "Oh, this is a perfect opportunity to explore some more German beers." But it's a much more expensive option doing it like that. And obviously, the longer I can delay some of these more expensive beers as the channel grows, the better, because then I'm actually going to be in a position where I'll get enough of the money back to maybe pay for the beer. Do you know what I mean? I'm not keen on Belgian beers either, mate. Yeah, Ronald, I'm trying to sort of get into them, but let's just say it's not coming so naturally as it did with the German beers. If you know what I mean? Polly stands out for me. I've only tried the supermarket Polly stuff, sub 10. Lighting really good too. Your stream looking good. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I took a bit of time before tonight's stream and sort of messed about a bit. Something I don't want to do, and I'll just switch it on and go. Can't be bothered, sort of thing. But I thought, no, I'll make the effort. It's actually nothing to do with the lighting. The lighting is exactly the same as it was the last stream, where everybody was saying it was dark, and then I was getting up to go for a piss, and then all of a sudden it was going light. It was really, really weird. But the light is the same. I'm just using a different camera. The camera that I used to use on my gaming PC. I've put that. I'm using that instead of my laptop one, because the laptop camera has a really good definition, but it wasn't good with like autofocus and lighting and stuff like that. Whereas this one, the definition's slightly less, but it's better at sorting out your lighting and that. I don't know, it sort of adjusts automatically to the room to make the lighting look better. even though the lighting is actually exactly the same. It's making me realise how dirty my t-shirt is, though. I would have got away with that last week. Germany do the best beer. Yeah, so consistent as well. Jennifer Cross, evening, how are you? Says Parramatta. Oh, Parramatta, watch your video on alcohol and anxiety. Very profound. Could empathise a lot. Thank you, mate. Yeah, it was a hard video to make. I sort of touched on this a little bit earlier, but one that I felt was important to make as well, especially having a channel about beer and somebody who's gone through a lot of mental health problems. I mean, my mum's in the chat at the minute. She's seen me years ago. I say that video wasn't like a cry for help or worry about me as such, because 10, 15 years ago, I was in a much worse place than I am now. So I couldn't even leave the house. I can remember going around my mum's house after a relationship breakup. And I used to smoke back then. And my mum's house is smoke free. So I was like, I'm just going out the back garden for a fag. So, all right, son. Going out the back, passed straight out. That's when I had the agoraphobia. Literally, I couldn't even go in my own mum's garden. Yeah, that was bad times. That was the real bad times. Grey Goose is insanely overpriced. I completely agree. Well, that is nice. It is insanely overpriced. Poland, underrated beer nation. I've tried quite a lot of Polish beer, but I tried the Polish beer before the German beer, before I tried many German beers, and I really liked it. But then after I tried the German beer, I think perhaps I overrated some of the Polish beer when I reviewed them, but they're still decent. But the German beer is the league of its own, isn't it? I agree. I had no idea what it was going to cost. Hey, I'm worth it because you're worth it. Wonders if we're about to get a lot of fake German beers. They've done Spanish and French beer to death. Oh, don't give him ideas, Jennifer. Can you imagine getting all the fake, all the fake German beers? What names will they come up with? Even the real ones have got mad names. You know, it's just an Audi one. Weinbacher Weissbier. About time I grabbed another beer, actually. Paramount, hello, Beer Monster's mum. Hi, Linda. Hi, guys and girls. So proud of my boy. I don't say it, Mum. You make me cry. I'm going to use a loo and grab another beer. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, people, yeah? Chat amongst yourselves. Poor few, save me getting up. And I got a new glass because I'm swapping over from the Vice beer now. I've got my Stumpy bottles that have gone up. If you're a fan of the old Steinhauser, my favourite beer in Aldi, absolute cracking German lager, brewed by the German purity law. And it used to be really cheap, but me and probably other beer reviewers partially to blame. Been sort of shouting this beer out a lot, and the prices keeps going up. It was about £3.50 for 6 bottles a couple of years ago, and now it's £5.29. It's just gone up 29p. Sorry, 30p. It was £4.99 for 6 bottles. Now it's £5.29. So it's gone up 30p in a week, but it's still worth it. If you ask me. It's still the price of 1 pint down the pub, isn't it? What did I do with my bottle opener? I remember showing it earlier. Oh, here we go. Right next thing. Stick it in the old Stella chalice. Slightly dirty looking Stella. It's not beer clean, it's just the missus has washed it up clean. Before I do reviews, most of the time I make the glass beer clean. And how I do that is by using salt and a little bit of washing up liquid and warm water. And it makes the glass sparkle and stops you getting the carbonation stick. But you can always tell when I ain't bothered to do that because the carbonation always sticks to the edge. This one's not too bad. There we go. The old Steinhauser. It says on the front there, look, but at the bottom in the small writing, brewed by the German purity law. Probably can't even read that. Right, where was we? Anyone watch Shogun? No, I've not. I don't really watch TV, to be honest. I would like to start watching more TV because I just don't really watch it, but I do miss like watching films and series and stuff. On a positive note, if I do start getting into TV again, I'll probably have loads of stuff to watch. I was in the front room briefly the other night, and my daughter was watching a program called Luther, which I've never watched, and I was sort of sitting there on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, this actually looks really good." It was like halfway through the series or something, and I was just sort of thinking, "Oh, I'd like this. I'd enjoy this." And I sort of ended up sort of watching bits and pieces of it and thinking I might give that one a crack at some point. Don't know if anybody's seen that, but it did look good from what I see. Seen 3 episodes of it. This is Jennifer. Has come so far, totally got a heart of gold. Thanks, Mum, but you would say that, wouldn't you? Let Crow Faction. Hey, Beer Monster. Are you aware you're set for a minimum £5 super chat? I was going to send £2, but it wouldn't let me. Really? Are you aware you're set for a £5 super? Let me have a look. To be honest, I literally just read the title and pushed go, so to speak, assuming everything would stay the same. Live reactions, monetization, already YouTube has demonetized this stream. Have I done anything wrong, people? Lately, they just don't want to pay their content creators. It seems the slightest little thing you say or do, they demonetize it. I don't think I've said anything bad. I think I mentioned the situation that happened a few years ago once, but I didn't say anything bad about it. I'm now. I don't even know where this thing about super chat is, to be honest. It's not something I've ever it's not something I've ever really looked at because I never thought anybody would ever want to give me any money, to be honest with you. Just don't worry about it, mate. I'll maybe perhaps next time before I go live, perhaps it's something you have to do before you go live. I'm not sure. I'm not really clued up with the old super chats and all that sort of thing. If anybody knows how to change it, hello, because I would never be like, oh, if you're going to donate to me, it has to be a minimum £5 or don't bother. Well, you have to be some sort of arsehole, wouldn't you? So I definitely want to change that if that is the case. Yeah. Thanks anyway, Lecro, and I'll try and sort it out for next time. I'm old and still wait for Richard Chamberlain to turn up. Michael Slogan says the last 2-star ramen I've had tastes amazing, but what do you accept from UK brewed beer? Yeah, I mean, Star Ramen's really good in the pub on tap, even like the UK brewed one, but it's inconsistent out of bottles. But I had it the other day from my local corner shop. I bought a 4-pack of cans of it. I've never seen it in a can, not the small cans, like there were 500 ml cans, and it was lovely. But the price weren't. They didn't have a price, and I just thought it's only going to be a £5 or £6 maybe for 4 cans. So £8.50 they collared me for that. I was Steinhauser. I went to Aldi and it wasn't there. I believe it's Dortmund a dab with a different label. It wouldn't surprise me. They are very similar. And I had Dortmund the last week actually from Home Bargains, and I absolutely love it. And it's no coincidence that I absolutely love Steinhauser as well. Even though it's probably not my ideal sort of, when I'm drinking Steinhauser, I'll drink it and I think I do prefer my lagers slightly more bitter and slightly more crisp, perhaps. A bit of a dryness to them. And it doesn't really have that, but there's just something about it I really like. It's strange. Banks bitter is all right, and £1 a bottle. Yeah, I see that in Aldi's 99 pennies. 3.4%. Has it always been that low, or is that because of the new tax laws where beers at 3.4% get lower tax now, don't they? I'm not sure. The best beer monster. Thank you, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Bitburger for me tonight. That's a cracker, that is. A family friend brought me a bottle of that back from Germany, and it was absolutely cracking. And it's the only bottle I've ever had of it, and I just remember absolutely loving it. One of my favourite lagers I've reviewed on the channel without any shadow of a doubt. I really did like that. And I think he said it was cheap in Germany as well, which I was really surprised. Wish they'd do Steinhauser in 1 litre bottles. Yeah. Big old bottles. Luther is brilliant. Yeah, it did look really good. I think that black fella's a good actor as well. I forget his name, but he's a brilliant actor. If you got Netflix and don't mind your head messed with, Free Body Problems is difficult to follow and will probably have you in tears. Free Body Problems. What is that, like a documentary or a film? Free Body Problem. Free Body Problem is awesome. Ooh. So just donate a £5 and do it over 2 weeks. They do the best puddings, don't know about beers. Oh, what? Aldi's. They do some good beers. They do some good beers. If the Rhineback is really good. Jennifer Cross, Let Crow Faction. I had tears watching. Oh, Let Crow Faction, Beer Monster for the win. Oh, so you figured it out there, mate, because as far as I know, I didn't change anything. So, I don't know, perhaps it was saying you was doing wrong. But thank you, mate. I really appreciate big up Lee Faction for the £2 donation to the channel, mate. I really do appreciate it. And it will go back into BR or just making the setup better. In a minute, every single penny made from adverts or donations or memberships goes back to making you guys better content, better videos. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So yeah, appreciate that, mate. Seems to have worked now. Yeah, I don't know what that was about earlier. You had me looking at all the settings, and it didn't say nothing about a minimum super chat. That'd be a right arsey thing to have, wouldn't it? Right, you have to donate a minimum of. Come on, I mean, I get it. Maybe if you're like a massive YouTuber and you don't want it to keep popping up that people have donated £2, you only want to see the ones where someone's donated like 100 or whatever. But come on, let's celebrate their first. Oh, let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. It's not the first super chat I've had on a live stream, or is it the first? Is it the first super chat you've ever given someone, Necro Faction? Because it said that last week when Ronald donated, and it said let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. But I thought it meant my first super, but obviously it's not my first one because I got one last week. I don't know. Nitro is in the house. Hey there, mate. I've been recommended to watch Free Body Problem as well. A lot of people seem to be talking about that. We're going to have to check that one out, actually. And it's on Netflix, yeah? Is it only Netflix? Or because at the minute I've not got Netflix. I had it for years and just got bored of it because I watched everything on it. And a minute we've got Amazon and Disney, I think. But I had my ways of getting it for free anyway. Banks has always been low. It used to be 89p. So that's why if it's always been low, I don't mind that. But if they've just knocked it down, German beers all the way. Agree with you, Elizabeth. Only good thing about Stella in the UK version, anyway, is the glass. Gives it a nice level of carbonation for me. Make sure your head is clear watching it, as it's not an easy watch. I think I'm going to have to start wearing my bloody glasses when I do these live streams. Especially since I've got this laptop screen so much smaller. Like, trying to read your comments. Get a magnifying glass. Yeah. Someone said yesterday Warstein is being lowered to 4.8. Being lowered or has been? Because I know that Mr. Ronald's drinking it right now, so he could probably tell you. Or at least he was earlier. Jennifer Cross, I certainly didn't see Jack getting a knife to the neck. No spoilers. Are you a gamer? No, I'm not a gamer, mate. I don't get it wrong. I play games. I've got a gaming laptop that I'm talking to you on now. I did have a gaming PC, but it's taking up too much room. Plus, I barely ever used it. So I'm getting rid of that. It's behind me on the floor. Now I've got a gaming laptop, but I've got a gaming laptop because they're also good. Yeah, everything really. Plus, if I ever want to play a game, it's good to go. It's a very powerful one, actually. I was quite surprised. I got a good deal on it. Idris Elba, yeah, that's the one. I'm not very good with names. No, I'm not a gamer, but I do like gaming. But nowadays, I tend to just play like FIFA and War and stuff like that. I used to like playing MMOs, you know, like Guild Wars and World of Warcraft, that sort of thing. I went for a phase of that, and I actually used to have my own gaming guild or gaming community that it sort of turned into, where it was just a big group of people. A bit like now on the Liars, we used to get together and we used to game together, and we used to like play games where you'd fight like a server versus another server. And I used to be the commander, like the army sort of commander, and sort of make all the tactics. And I'll be like talking like a, like the people at the auctions are trying to sell things. Go on, go on. Just tell everyone what to do. But yeah, that was fun times. That was back in the day when I couldn't go out and stuff like that. That's kind of what I did to give me a purpose at that time, was be the leader of a gaming community. We went on for a few years, particularly while I was playing a game called Guild Wars 2. But then as that game kind of got old and fizzled out, we tried a few other games and none of them really sort of hit the spot, and we sort of drifted apart. I was still in WhatsApp and all that with them, but Lecro Faction, I kind of have the hots for Liam Cunningham. Don't even know who it is. Mr. World, I couldn't get into that free body problem. I think it's the first time I've donated on the current stream. Oh, perhaps that's what it... Current stream. Oh, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's Netflix, Adam. Ian Twin. How you doing? Good to see you, mate. Oh, you got a Fire Stick, Adam. I've not got a Fire Stick, but I've got it on my Xbox. Cody. You know, where you've got all the add-ons and all that. Yeah, you can actually put it on an Xbox, Xbox One or an Xbox Series S or X, and where it's on an Xbox, it's a bit more powerful than a Fire Stick as well, so it tends to lag less. Or you can put it on your PC, can't you? Put it on pretty much anything. Lecro Faction is a bit too old for my liking, and yeah, he's a man. Did you see Ray Donovan? Not me, but I'm sure others did. Oh, using a Moretti glass. You're using a Moretti glass. I'm not. I'm using the Stella glass. Stella's shit in the UK now, but I still like the glass. But I'd rather drink a nice German beer in it instead. It's cheaper as well. Aaron Bussey. Oh, how you doing, Aaron? He's a proper old friend of mine. Back in the day. Good to see you, mate. Jim Bob Fred Neveragunda. How could I ever forget, mate? Do you remember that one, Ad? Good old times. Yeah, Jim Bob Fred Neveragunda. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron's like a childhood friend of mine. We've not seen each other for absolute donkey's years. But good to see you in, mate. I hope you're doing well, bud. It's always been 4.8, mate. Oh, there you go. It's got to be lowered to 4.8 if it's always been 4.8. I was thinking it was 4.8 when he said that, but I just wasn't sure because I've not had it for a long time. But I know you drink it a lot, didn't you? That and the Cronbacker. So. Narco 94, I'm a big gamer. I got an Xbox Series X with a 4K HDR TV. Looks great. Yeah. Yeah. Funny enough, I've got the Xbox as well. And I've got a 4K TV in the front room, but I prefer playing it on my monitor, which isn't 4K, but it's got like a really high refresh rate. So you can see everyone before they can see you. It seems to give you a big advantage, but doesn't look as pretty, sort of thing, you know. If you know, you know. If you're a PC gamer, it's a big advantage if you play on a monitor. You get your higher frames per second. Adam, I've recently become a mod in a gaming Discord. Was thinking you should start one for the beer and maybe other stuff on the side. Possibly. I just don't really get much time to game anymore with all the kids and that. Which is another reason why I sort of stopped playing with my guild and stuff. It's just having the time. A lot of them had a lot more time than what I did. Xbox all the way. So that's what I like about it, laptop I've got, because I can play the Xbox games on the laptop. on the PC, and they look better than on the Xbox as well. And I've still got an Xbox as well, which I play on. I use them more because then I can browse on the PC while I'm playing it. The faction Narco 94. I have a beer drinkers Discord server running if you want to join. Beer drinkers Discord server. Oh. Oops, did post that by mistake. Whoopsie. Michael Slocum, I've had the Xbox Series X for like 2 years now. We got all of them in the house, I think. We got the Switch, got a couple of them for the younger kids. I did have a PlayStation 5, but I didn't play it at all. So I gave it to Tyler, who you see earlier. He's now got his own little gaming setup, which is because he shares a brother with. He shares a bedroom with his brother, and it's like a little box room. And they argue, and there's not really enough room in there for 2 consoles. So I've sorted that a bit. Where I used to have a snake downstairs in the hallway, and the snake's dead now. So I've got rid of the tank in there, and I've made him a little gaming den there. Gave him a PS5, sorted him out a monitor, and he's just decided to get him out that corner now. It's not good. That's the only thing. Although he loves it a bit too much. Don't hardly see him. Elizabeth McCormack, Command and Conquer Red Alert. Oh, it's a class game. Back in the day, that Command and Conquer Red Alert. I just used to like playing the skirmish mode against the computer. It's like 4 different sides, and you just all build a massive army and just have a massive war at the end of it. Nice one. I'll join. I've had the same Stella glass. I stole it from Nottingham all the way back to near Burton-on-Trent. Drinking out of it now because I'm so cool. I think every true beer lover has got at least one glass they stole from the pub. I mean, a lot of us have probably got so many that we're giving them away. Right, get out then. Well, I've not finished your beer. I'll take it with me. I'll blame your mum. It's always handy going out with mum because she has a handbag. Thought, oh, I like this Star of Almond glass, mum. Hint, hint. Next thing you know, shouldn't do it, but in reality, no, it's not really going to hurt anyone, is it? What's your favourite crisp flavour? Oh, here we go. It's all gonna kick off now, isn't it? Yours has got to be McCoy's flame grilled steak or salt and vinegar. You know, I really like McCoy's flame grilled steak as well, mate. And I like salt and vinegar squares. I don't know why. I think it's the texture of them. And I also like them crisps called Roysters, T-bone steak flavour. They used to do them in other flavours as well. Now they only do T-bone steak, but I like them as well. They're just really nice and beefy. What other crisps do I like? I'm not a massive crisp eater, really. And I don't buy them T-bone steak crisps often because I just annihilate them. No, I'm not a massive crisp eater, but if you give me some crisps that I like, they get annihilated, sort of thing. So I try not to buy the ones I like, otherwise the kids don't really get a look in. I'll just buy the stuff the kids like. Marmite crisps were the best, can't get them anymore. Is that Marmite Walkers? Phil Thorpe. How you doing, bud? Good to see you, mate. Hi, Ben Monster. I'm on the Hobgoblin Ruby still. Can't get any Nigerian nectar from Home Bargains. I was in their earlier film, and there actually was all sold out of the Golden, the Ultimate was gone, and maybe never to be seen again. I don't know, but they did still have plenty of Star in there, which I think was the worst of the two Nigerian lagers that they sold personally. But a lot of people did prefer the Star, so I think it's a personal sort of thing, down to personal preference. They're both pretty good for the price, and to say you've tried a Nigerian lager that's brewed a completely different way to our lagers, they're well worth picking one up. Yeah, I know about that, Adam. He's got an LG OLED which supports 120 frames. Yeah, I think if they called you, yeah, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? With the 120 frames for sure, especially if you're playing on a TV. You want one that supports the 120 frames. Otherwise, the PC people playing on the monitors are going to slaughter you. But that's where, like, if you do the crossplay on the Xbox, never crossplay with PC players, because, like, for example, this laptop screen, and I'm on a laptop, does like 344 hertz, frames per second. That's just mental. It probably only ever reached that if I was playing a really old game, because you're just not going to get that sort of frames on a modern game, are you? No matter what PC you got. Probably didn't get them down south. Tudder crisps were the best. Yeah, I don't think we did. Not in my time, anyway. Loved Command and Conquer Red Alert 2 was great. And Generals, yeah. We used to go down Norquay on a holiday. I always came back with a suitcase full of beer glasses. And I says, stop it. Stop what? Michael Slocum, I've got myself a new Heineken beer glass today. I got a Heineken beer glass in the cup. Didn't realise it was nucleated. I love it. Where did I get mine from? I think it was in Asda about 6 months ago. They were doing a deal. If you bought like a 4-pack of Heineken, you got a free glass. And I was actually just about to go to Butlins, I think it was. No, Pontins, before they closed it down, the one in Camber Sands. And it just sort of thought, oh, a pint glass are coming handy, actually, instead of drinking out their little cups, whatever. So yeah, I thought I'd pick some of them up just for the glass. The staff are rude, so I stole their glassware. Seems fair. Yeah, I shouldn't have been rude, mate. Teach him a lesson. Don't be rude to Michael. You end up not Michael. Parramatta. Don't be rude to Parramatta. He'll have no glasses to serve your beer in. Brannigan, Chris. Yeah, oh god, I remember them. They bring back memories of sitting in the pub with my dad as a 10-year-old, drinking far too much Coca-Cola and the Brannigan crisps. God, they were lovely. They were, though. They were so not how they didn't like sort of catch on as like a mainstream crisp. I don't know. Didn't they stop making them recently? I heard. Could be wrong, or perhaps they've come back since. I don't know. Chili cheese max. You can buy Marmite crisps in Sainsbury's. There you go, Mum. Brannigan's roast beef and mustard were the daddy. They were lovely. Roast beef and mustard, yeah, they were really nice. Back then, as a kid, I remember I didn't even like mustard, but I liked them crisps. We used to have, Jennifer Cross says, we used to have a 1 litre Lowenbrow Stein. I could pick up a full use mix of cocktail up in the Christmas and pass around to the chuck. I've got a couple of Steins actually. I've got a Paul and a one, and just a plain one. They're both like, well, they say 1 litres, but they actually hold 1.2. If you can't be bothered to keep getting up, quite handy. At least they're back to real glasses. There was a point when you had to use plastic glasses on the weekend. It drives you mad when you go to a place and you have to use a plastic glass. Just completely kills the beer, doesn't it? Being twin on the Brewdog Punk IPA from Perfect Draft tonight, down to 5.4, but still a good pint. I've heard it's not too bad on the Perfect Draft still. Obviously, it's one of Brewdog's sort of original beers in it that's been lowered and tampered with a lot. But I have heard from a few people that it's still half decent on Perfect Draft, although still a shadow of what it used to be. I haven't got a Perfect Draft. That's one thing I'd like to get for the channel one day. It's a Perfect Draft machine, so I can get some kegs, review kegs of beer, because I think that's good for people as well. Because before, the kegs of beer were about sort of 25, 30 quid each, didn't they? So if ever there's a beer you're going to watch a review on, it's going to be a keg, because that's quite a big outlay, which is why I haven't got one. I could probably find the money to get myself the Perfect Draft machine, which are about £300, didn't they? But it's buying the kegs for it, 30 quid a keg. That's the reason I've not got one, because it's quite pricey. It works out about 3 quid a pint or something, roughly, doesn't it? But you get proper draft beer at home, and you can get some really good kegs on it as well. Decent German beers and Belgian beers and stuff like that on keg. I'll just have to go around rate my beer's house and drink all his beer instead. He's invited me around as well, Nutter. So that could be coming up soon. Maybe real soon, in the next couple of weeks. Him and Michelle invited me and my family round to the house to sample some Perfect Draft kegs, so to speak. I know that's going to get really messy. But I thought it was really nice of Michelle to invite the whole family as well, not just me. She's like, bring your missus, bring your kids. They know how many kids I got in that, and they were still like, no, bring your kids, as long as you're all right with dogs. They got quite a few dogs, haven't they? But yeah, that should be interesting. I might go on my own, I don't know, but I'm not. With my anxiety and that, it's a difficult thing to do. I probably would have went around there a long time ago. And he lives 10-minute drive from me. It was so heavy I couldn't lift it. They are heavy. They are heavy, Jennifer. Especially when they're full of beer. I mean, they've got a bit of weight to them before you've even got the beer in there. But once the thing's full, and they're quite heavy. And I've seen like some videos on like Facebook, I think you come up on, and there's some girl with about 10 of them in Germany at Oktoberfest carrying them out for like the tables and that. I'm thinking, I couldn't even pick them up. She had them all stacked up a certain way. I think it was more than 10. She must have had about 15 beers. And she's just, that's a lot of weight. And then you've got to balance it as well. And Jennifer's talking about not being able to lift one. And there's girls out there, not even blokes, lifting like 15 of these stein full of beers. When I say full, they don't actually feel it full. It's more like half full. But still impressive, if you ask me. I've got the last box off eBay of the Marmite Chris. Going to miss Marmite Chris. Hey, what time does the co-op close? Probably 11. Polish beer, Debol 7, the best. I've had that one before. I'm sure I've had that one before. Probably butchered the pronunciation there. Sorry, my man, if you're Polish. Sounds like you are by your name. I've tried a lot of Polish beer. I think I have had that one. I can't remember what I thought of it, but I recognise the name. Let Crow Faction, thank you very much, mate. He's become a beer monster. Welcome to Beer Monster. Why does it say that? It don't make no sense, does it? Welcome to Beer Monster. He's become a beer monster. Cheers, mate. He's joined the membership of the channel. Thank you very much. If anyone's interested in joining membership, it starts at 99p a month, and it just helps support the channel. And that for 99 pennies, you can cancel it anytime. Thanks very much, Lekra. I really appreciate that, mate. It really does help. It really does help keep the channel going in that. Top man. Elizabeth McCormack. I was at Manchester Arena during the weekend. They sold a 2-pint cup of Moretti for 17 quid. Oh. Those who know the channel well will know what I think of Moretti. It's absolutely one of the worst, especially the UK brew version of Moretti. I really struggle with that. I really don't like Moretti. I really, really struggle with it. To think you paid 17 quid for 2 pints of it. That is absolute robbery, isn't it? How can they get away with that? Was it in a plastic 2-pint cup as well? That would just be rubbing salt in the wound. A plastic jug or something, so it's completely flat. So it's a crap beer in a crap plastic jug, just to make it even worse. Parramatta Kopaki, not being racist. Kopaki, yeah, I've had Kopaki. That's about 9%. That one, that is rough as a dog's arsehole. Kopaki Premium. That ain't no premium beer. That is full on. That is a full on park bench material beer. That one, Kopaki Premium, black can and everything. Jennifer Cross. I got super smart hubby. Wonders if I could build one. Once he the sofa for drinking all the tisky. Ian Twin, even the crap sub is good. Wee machine. Yeah, the crap sub. The thing that pisses me off is the kegs only hold 2 litres, don't they? But for review purposes, it's not bad, is it? But they charge you something silly like 12 quid for 4 pints, don't they, or something like that? What you're drinking better not be Stella. Of course, it ain't Stella, mate. Jesus. No, I'm drinking the old Steinhauser. You can see behind me here. It's a German lager from Aldi's. It's very, very nice. Really isn't worth 17p. Very disgusting. Right from the crops is a different animal from the UK brew bottles. Yeah, I can imagine. There's such a big difference between the real versions of beers and the fake UK versions. They shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. It's just daylight robbery. I was at the egg chasing last week. Oh, in the posh seats, and it was only £6.20 a pint. Only. We've come to that stage where we're saying only £6.20 a pint. What is the world coming to, eh? Ali D's in the house. What's going on, Ali D? Evening, Adam. How are you doing, bud? We'll probably not be on long. Have an early start. You've been trying non-alcoholic beer tonight. No, I haven't, mate. I was going to do one alcohol beer, then one non-alcoholic beer. And I just thought, it's the first life back for a while. I just want a proper beer. I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going to just do a review and then just take the rest of the night off instead and just enjoy tonight. I think because Saturday nights I'm just going to try and spend them with the missus watching films and that. Maybe do one review so I can put something up on Sunday, and hopefully that would just take the edge off the anxiety and that for me. And hopefully after the film I'll be able to fall asleep. That's when I struggle if I don't manage to fall asleep. But I looked in Aldi. I almost picked up the Rheinbacher alcohol free because they do six bottles of that for £3. And I quite like the Rheinbacher, so might be worth a go. Pretty sure I'm going to hate it though. Would like to try a Rangy Boom 20%. Rangy Boom 20%. Go and take a swig of bleach out from under your kitchen sink. Probably taste something like that, mate. Oh dear. 20%. Oh, that's a strong beer, isn't it? 20%. I think the strongest beer I've tried, actually, but lager, it was called a lager anyway, was probably that Holston Black that I drank live on stream a few months back. 10.5%, or was it 11.5%? Something like that. It was absolutely mental. Could literally feel the hairs growing on my tits as I was drinking it. What a bargain. Sub 10 sounds mad, and all stuff was really nice. That Crow Faction. I've got some frosted Stella unfiltered glass on the way from eBay. Oh, is that one $9.94 for two? What you can freeze them, or they just got the frost effect on them. I do like Stella unfiltered. That's a lovely beer. That we've got a nice little posh badge next to you now, Let Crow. LED. Hey Jennifer Cross. How you doing? Ian Twin. Right now, Heineken on the sub. £7.20 for 3.5 pints. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, is it? I don't know what that works out a pint. It's the real stuff from Netherlands as well. That's good then, mate. Have they reduced the price of their subs then? Because, or is there a catch? Like, is delivery really expensive, or do you need to spend a certain amount perhaps to get it delivered? It was Moretti in a plastic cup. Oh. I really feel for you, Elizabeth. For £17. Remember when we kicked up a fuss over £5 a pint? That's shocking, isn't it? Jennifer Cross, happy our boy is back. Thanks so much, Jennifer. Thank you very much, Jennifer. One of the many evergreens that seem to join the streams every week, and I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. You know who you are, and I know who you are, but I'm not going to go through and name everyone because I'll probably forget one person. They get really offended. I really want to say your name, but I don't want to offend you. Shall I just try anyway? Piotr? Is that Peter in Polish? Pirotsky. You enjoy your Dubawi beer, mate. Enjoy it, mate. Parramatta, only alcohol-free beer I've had which is tolerable is a Brooklyn one. Guinness 0.0 is okay theoretically, but it tastes like Guinness draft, which I don't like. That's fair enough. I've heard a lot of people say that Guinness is one of the better options. problem is, it's all right me drinking alcohol-free beer, but it's the effect of the alcohol itself that helps with my anxiety at that present time. And I wonder if I drink alcohol-free beer, will that just make me want to beer even more? Would I be like, oh, that was shit, give me a real one? Do you know what I mean? Or will it help? I don't know. I suppose there's only one way to find out. That's why perhaps I suggested in that video I made the other day that everybody seems to have watched, about doing one real one and then one alcohol-free one, so I can sort of get through the punishment of drinking the alcohol-free one, and then I can have a proper one after that. Or will it just lead to me sort of taking me time drinking a beer? Oh, now I've got another alcohol-free one. Picture those, down it, and then open the real one again. I don't know. It could lead to that. I don't know. It could be worth a try though. Only alcohol-free beer. I read that one. 7%. That's going to put a few hairs on the old man breasticles. That one, mate. 7%. Enjoy it, mate. You won't need too many of them bad boys. Narco says, yeah, the alcohol-free Guinness is one of the best as far as alcohol-free beers go. I'll have to start doing some of them on the channel, and I kick up a fuss at 50p half. Don't mind Heineken as a beer. Hate them as a company though. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot worse beers than Heineken, especially when you're talking UK brewed ones. It's not great, but it's one of the better UK brewed ones. But if you get it from the Netherlands, it's actually pretty decent. It is actually pretty decent for sure. Adam, I've got a 330ml can of Heineken in the fridge, as all the other ones are imposters. At least you know it's the Netherlands brewed one. That's my theory anyway. And I've tested it quite a bit before I made that video, Heineken versus Heineken. And I'm convinced that the small cans are always brewed in Netherlands. And the other ones just seem to always be brewed, the big bottles or 440ml cans that always seem to be brewed in the UK. The stuff these companies get up to. Narco 94. Adam, I've read that one. Peter Fender. Peter Perfect, lol. Ian Swin. Perlenbacher 0% from Lidl is the best non-alcoholic lager I've tried. Is that one actually brewed in Germany then? Because the normal Perlenbacher is now brewed in the UK. It used to be brewed by the German brewery law. I don't really go to Lidl a lot because it's, of all the supermarkets, probably one of the most out my way supermarkets. And I never really have real reason to go there because I've got an Aldi quite close, and I prefer Aldi. I think Aldi's a little bit cheaper, although they're pretty close, aren't they? Let Grow Faction. Erdinger alcohol free is a decent drink, very refreshing. It's actually supposed to be good for you as well. The Erdinger alcohol free, from what I've heard, it's classed as a isotonic. Is it isotonic they call it? Drink. It's actually healthy for you. No alcohol in it. I've heard it's quite good, but it doesn't taste like a wheat beer. It doesn't taste like Erdinger, but it's okay for what it is. You've seen the alcohol-free bar in Manchester. It's doomed to fail for the points are made. Before the pints are made. Alcohol-free beer is like sex toys. It's fun, but yeah. There's a few sayings about the old alcohol-free beer. I've done a short about one of them. Wasn't my joke, but probably quite an old one. Quite disgusting. Do I go there? Quite disgusting, but funny, if you ask me. Alcohol-free beer is like going down on your sister. It tastes the same, but it just don't feel right. Oh, God. I went there. Excuse me. Thankfully, I don't have a sister. Otherwise, that'd feel really weird to say that joke. Guinness 0% is decent, says Ian. Elizabeth says zero beer is a gateway drug. Yeah, it's alcohol-free beer is a cannabis in the drug world. Any of the Grolsch brews stuff is okay. May not be as good as the real stuff, but it's miles better than UK Stella Poo. I was actually surprised, Jennifer. I used to like Grolsch when it was like 5%, and them little fancy bottles, the old pop cap bottles. And I reviewed it about a year ago, and it's now 4%. And I really thought I was going to hate it, Jennifer. Everything, I thought, here we go again. I was getting a bit excited, thinking, yeah, I'm gonna tear this beer a new arsehole when I review it. But it was one of the few occasions where, although they lowered the ABV to 4%, which I don't drink many lagers at 4%, I've got to be honest, but it was actually nice, and I couldn't lie. I think I still gave it about an 8 out of 10, and it really shocked me. When you compare it to something like Beck's, where it was like 4.9 and they made it 4%, and it just completely took any soul that beer used to have and threw it out the window for me. And it was shocking, the Beck's 4%. But the Grolsch, they done it. They done it. They still made it decent. Every now and weaker. Still rather the 5% one though. You need a few less beers then, didn't you? Peter, I'm going to call you Peter, mate. So, all right. Piotr Piotrowski. Is that Peter in Polish? Peter. The worst days I recommend Polish Belvedere vodka. Oh, is that like proper rocket fuel, Peter? Jason Keller, favorite Saison? Oh, I don't know. I always find the favorite questions hard because it's like I like beers for different things. Like I find it hard to pick a favorite. Like to just say, bang, that's my favorite lager. Bang, that's my favorite stout. Because there's so many that I like. And as I say, one day I might fancy one more than the other. Like some lagers are more bitter and I've got to be in the mood for it. But when I'm in the mood for it, at that particular time, that's my favorite lager. But I don't know. I find it really hard. If you're talking about your favorite beer overall, I think you've got to put everything into that sort of decision as far as like price wise goes and everything. Like you could have a favorite beer, but you might never be able to afford to drink it. But you had it once and it's your favorite. Can you really call that your favorite? If you had some posh lager once that's normally like 10 a pint or whatever. You know, you probably never have it again, but it was your favorite. Or is your favorite beer just your sort of best beer that you can afford to session? Don't know. There's so many different kind of like ways of looking at it, isn't there? If that makes sense. Probably don't. Dan Sullivan, how you doing, mate? Thanks for joining the stream. I'm fine, mate. And appreciate you tuning in. And I hope you're doing well, mate. Are you having a beer tonight? What are you up to, mate? Jennifer Cross, they do a lot. Ian says, if you like football, will you be watching Rangers versus Celtic game on Sunday? If so, who you'll be wanting to win? I do like football, but I've got to be honest, I don't really watch it anymore. I play it more on the computer games. I'm an Arsenal fan, um, but I'm more of a sort of a match of the day Arsenal fan. A sort of, I watch the highlights. Not even match of the day. I watch them on YouTube. Um, I keep up with the results in the Premier League, I'd say, but I don't really like. I'm not hardcore like I used to know the stats of every single club and how old all the players were. I was like well into it. Whereas as I've got older, I think not having Sky Sports is probably a big part of it. And even if I wanted to watch a football match with so many kids around, it's not really going to happen, is it? Grolsch do a lot of rebrewing for other brands. Tyskie is made by them and a few others. Thank you for educating me, Jennifer. I didn't know that. Stella 4% was excellent as well. Stella 4%. I can't remember it. I remember it, but I can't remember if I liked it or not. I think back then, that's when the Stella was still quite good. Well, I think we still had the Belgium Stella, so I was like 4% Stella. Never really gave it a chance, as far as I can remember. But I mean, if they re-released it now, I'd give it a go because it can't be any worse than the normal Stella, can it? Matthew Coleman enjoyed those Nigerian ones from Home Bargains. So did I, Matthew, because it was a nice experience trying them because they were something a bit different, weren't they? They were something a bit different from the norm. I can perfectly understand when the Nigerian beers are, people would love them, but also be like, "What's that?" Because they're just different from the norm. But that's why I enjoy them. But I did prefer the Gouda, the Ultimate, I think it was called. But the bottles look so smashed up, didn't they, on them Nigerian lagers? It was like a 5-year-old put the label on and sort of smashed it on every single wall on the way to the delivery truck as hard as they could without actually breaking the bottle somehow. And then we'll put that in our markings. It's like the state of them. Like look on the shelf, every single bottle completely mash up. Rangers. I used to work for Morris's. Naughty. I'm not going to read that. Should have done because this video's already been demonetized anyway. Well, I will appeal it because I think I've been quite a good girl. If I had to pick between Rangers and Celtic, I would pick Rangers. And I don't even know why. I think it's just going back in the day. Like I remember Gazza playing for him and Arteta, who's now the Arsenal manager. Good enough reason in it. Plus, I like blue. That's about how much I care about Scottish football. It's never been very competitive, is it? Dan Sullivan enjoying a Spaten Pills BOSH. That is a very nice beer. Best cold beer on holiday. Well, Elizabeth, apart from when I was like a kid and went away with my parents, I've never been abroad. So on holiday for me is like Pontins or Butlins because of all the kiddies, And let's just say, for example, my last holiday, which was Butlins, best cold beer in Butlins. God, to say I was sport for choice would definitely be bullshit. They had Madry, Carlin, and that was the two lagers of choice. Or it was Guinness, or they had a Pale Ale. I think it was Atlantic Pale Ale or something like that. And that's what I chose to drink most of the time, or Guinness. But yeah, it's hardly sort of like, oh yeah, sitting on the beach in the Maldives or whatever. It's just in December, pissing hard rain in Butlins, being terrorised by the kids. So yeah, you know what I mean. But I'm sure like one day I'll get to go abroad again and experience that sort of holiday beer. But the last time I went abroad, I was 15, and I was drinking beer then with my dad, and there was Mythos we was drinking in Greece, and it was very cheap, I remember. But that was before the Euros came into it. It was Drachma back then, and the beer was dirt cheap. Rangers and Celtic play every 4 weeks. Celtic are weird though. Michael Slocum, no man, Liverpool better. Don't support that shit. You call Arsenal. Sub 10. It's going to be a close. Michael, it's going to be a close title battle this year, though, isn't it? I don't mind Stella Unfiltered. Yeah, I don't mind Stella Unfiltered. It's nice. Nico 94. Just having a Boddington's bitter. Lol. Anyone tried it? I've not tried it. I want to try it, even though I know it's going to be shit, because it's going to be like John Smith's, isn't it? And Simo reviewed it about a month ago on his channel, and he told me like, a couple of hours after the review he felt sick. But I don't think it'll make me feel sick, but I think it's just going to be a really easy drinking. But I would imagine it's a nitro infused bitter, so the bitters with the nitro infused don't tend to have much flavour, but they're very smooth and easy to drink. So I'm just imagining it to be a very easy drinking, but no flavour sort of jobby. But I hope you enjoy it, mate. I'm sure it'll be smashable. Have you tried the Nigerian Guinness ad? Much better than our stuff. And don't mind our Guinness. Yes and no. I've tried the Nigerian Guinness, but I tried it back when I first started the channel. I put it up against Dragon Stout in a beer battle, my first ever beer battle. And I really struggled because I didn't like stout. So I was like, oh, I don't like either of them. But it's one of the ones I want to come back to because now I like stout, so I would actually appreciate it. Whereas back then I couldn't get on with them and it was just painful. It's taken me a while to get used to them, and that's one of my favourite styles. It's funny how your taste buds can change if you give them a chance to sort of explore different beers and that. Hubby's effed off to Fulham for the weekend with his mates, home alone. Oh, it's going to get messy. What's that? Black, white, Tiwedi. Need my glasses, sorry. Elizabeth McCormack, Arsenal for the title. I think Arsenal are the least likely to win it, but I just got a feeling it could happen. But I think it's going to play. I think the Tottenham game is going to be a big one, and I think Liverpool are going to need to mess up a little bit. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's going to be really fun watching it play out. And this is what you want, isn't it? 3 teams battling away. Instead of just one team running away with it. It's exciting this year, which is nice. So unfiltered over the run of the mill UK brewed stuff, but Belgian imported stuff is top of the course. Yeah, I agree with you there, Nico. It's 1,000 times better than the normal Stella, but yeah, I'd still rather have the proper Belgian one. Gaza from round the corner, lovely bloke. Just the least he's got hold of him. Atlantic Pale Ale ain't too bad. Yeah, I think they had that on tap. That was the one they had. It was the best option available to me anyway. Ian says Rangers and Arsenal have a connection up until a few years ago. Rangers owned 200,000 shares in Arsenal. Arteta doing a great job at Arsenal, yeah. Arteta is doing a great job. And I've got to be honest, he's proved me wrong. Because when he took over at Arsenal, I just thought, what are we doing with this clan? I never particularly rated him as a player. It was one of them players. It was all right. But in the last few years of his career, I was just like, just let somebody else take over. You're too slow. But he's obviously very intelligent, football-minded guy. Boddington still exists. Yeah, you can get it in home bargains, actually, Boddington's. Power. Faction Stale Unfiltered is a completely different brew to normal stale. Yeah, completely different in a good way. Feel for Madry can be good on draft if you get the right pub. There's worse beers than Madry, but it's not one of my go-tos. I'd definitely pick it over Carlin and Foster's and Cruz Campo, but I wouldn't pick it over like a Star and Primal on tap or something like that. Personally, only after 20 pints. Evening drinkings, Weiteries, Baltas, Hefeweizen, plenty of yeast. How you doing, Eric? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you back on the live. You enjoy it, mate. I enjoyed that actually. I did review that a few months ago, and I enjoyed that one. There was one by the same brewery. I think it was their Blanc, which I didn't like. It tasted like pear drops, but the Hefeweizen's nice. It's cause it's only 3.4%. Dave Sullivan, Spartan Pills, 3 for £6 in Sainsbury's. That's a brilliant deal. That's a cracking German lager. Peter, who we're not sure if actually Peter, but we call him Peter, our Polish friend, says best channel. Thank you very much, Peter, if that is your name. And obviously, if it ain't your name, you've taken it well because you said I've got the best channel. Thank you, mate. Narco 94, that's bang on Adam. It's weak and not awful, lot of flavour, but it's very smashable. Yeah, I've not tried it, but it's one of them beers where I think when you've tried so many beers, you kind of know what a beer is going to taste like before you even try it to a certain degree. Sometimes, but then you get the odd one that you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that, you know. But that's one of them typical kind of the fact that it's nitro brewed. You know, it's not going to have much flavour, but it's going to have a nice body and it's just going to be silky smooth, glide down the hatch, be very easy drinking, but not a lot to it kind of beer. Phil thought, rather drink my own beer, urine than body bitter. Was a great pint 20 years back. See, I can imagine that somebody that used to drink it before it got messed about with, I can imagine how much you must hate it now. Because there's nothing worse than seeing a beer that you used to love just get the bum hole torn out and just turn into something completely different. It's still got the same name, it's still got a similar looking can and everything else, but it's dog shit. And for me, that was Stella. I wouldn't say it's like the best beer in the world, but the Belgium Stella, when we used to get over here, you could get it anywhere and it was decent and it done the job and had a nice kick to it on the end. It had like a nice bite to it. And that's why I liked it. And that bite now is turning it into like a pissy sort of astringent bitterness. So yeah. Definitely ain't no wife beater anymore, is it? Definitely ain't no wife beater. It's kind of gone with the times in a way, isn't it? I won't go there. I won't go there. I was going to say a little joke, but I won't go there. Jesus. Definitely offend someone. Narco 94. Tried it, Phil, but I wish I could be. It used to be a lot better back in the day. AD. We ain't winning shite, mate. We will buckle at the end. We always do. Stay positive, Ali. Ali's lost it already. Tetley's Caffrey's, John Smith, Worthington's Green King IPA, Cream Flow Bonnetons. Oh, you got a packet of Scampi fries there, Don. LED, is he doing a great job, Ad? We've won one FA Cup after spending a shite load. If he doesn't in anything this season, it's another failure season. Yeah, I just think he's doing a good job compared to what Wenger was before he left. And I think, I don't know, he does need to win a trophy, but I think a lot of it is, I'm quite impressed, I would say, that he's managing to compete with City when you look who's in charge of City and how much money they've got. the fact that he's competing with them, that's what impresses me. Not as far as, yeah, of course, he ain't won no trophies. As far as that goes, you might as well be Spurs. So I get what you mean. We do need to win some trophies, or we'll be the next Tottenham, won't we? But do you know what I mean? We're in the talking of winning the title, which it's been a while since I've actually believed there's a chance, even albeit a small one, that we could win it or at least be in it till the end, which will make a nice change. What do you think of Scotland's favourite lager, Tennent's? Not tried it, mate. I've heard it's a lot better on the perfect draft than what it is out of a can. I will get it. I've seen it about. I've just not made the dive into it yet. I think I might have even reviewed Super Tennent's, but not Tennent's. I'm not sure though. Could be wrong. I don't know. It might have been Kestrel. I've just got to go for a piss, guys. 1 second. Guess who's back? Oh, it's so good to be back. Sorry if I've missed any of your comments, guys. From wife beater to weasel piss. That's what I say. I did have a little joke, but you gotta be careful these days, isn't you? You know, get my channel shut down. Adnam's Ghost Ship is underrated gem, tasty stuff. I've had that on tap. It's nice. Peter says the best beer snack. Peter, me old mate, if that is your name, our Polish friend. I'll tell you what, I don't know what they were, but I've tried a couple of nice Polish beer snacks actually. One looks a bit like a salami, but it's way less salty and was quite nice. And there's some other thing, because I get on well with the people in my local Polish shop because I'm going in there buying beer and that. I'm always chatting to the ladies that work there. They let me know if they've got any new stuff in and that. And they give me these snacks to try while I'm there. And there's something, they put it on a bit of, it looks like rye bread. There's some sort of spread. God knows what it is I'm eating in this spread. I dread to think. I think the fact I don't know is probably a good thing, but it tastes lovely. And that's a good little beer snack. And I go in there and I'm like, I don't even know what it's called. So I always forget the name. But I was just like, yeah, you know that mad stuff that you gave me as a free sample that I said was really nice? Yeah, I'll have some of that, please. Doner kebab, well, of course, goes down with beer very well, but I tend to avoid it now because of my cholesterol. Plus, it makes me feel like shit if I eat a doner kebab. It really, like at the time, it's the ultimate. But then after, you're like, oh, why did I eat that? Even the next day, sometimes. The wife ain't been beaten for such a long time. Yeah, she started misbehaving. Is she? It's been so long since you had a proper Stella. You ain't had to buy a new belt for ages. Have you tried Targan Monsieur Helles? No, I've not. I've tried the Augustiner, which I really like, but it's definitely one I'm going to try one day because I do love me German beers. Beer costs more and ABV goes down. I know, Elizabeth, it's just wrong, isn't it? Absolutely wrong. Eric got a couple of proper job for the weekend. Enjoy, mate. They've changed the bottle, haven't they? Proper job. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer it or not. It's just weird seeing a different bottle at the minute. But I do really like that. That's a really nice kind of it's a nice IPA that you can get hold of easily. Jennifer Cross, Adam needs a bucket. Yeah. Need a commode, beer monster commode. Get personalised. Hang on a minute, guys. A commode and a little mini fridge here. I'll be sorted. That's when I know I've made it. The day where I can sit here and piss in my chair while I'm live. Oh, do you hear that, guys? Oh, little fart popped out. That's when I know I'm living the dream. Great live. You should do one per week. I do feel Friday nights. At the minute, it's Friday nights. We don't get an amazing amount of people in, but we get the best people in, and that's what matters. We get a great bunch that are really talkative. We share our problems, we share what beers we're drinking, what we're getting up to, and that. And I absolutely love it. And I dread to think one day if we do start getting more people, well, we feel really bad because at the minute I can answer probably 90% of people's questions, take my time a bit. Whereas obviously, if we start getting more people in, it's going to be a bit more difficult, isn't it? Adam, did you see Ivan Toney's pen the other day at England friendly versus Belgium? Made history as the first goal for England from a Brentford player. I didn't see it, mate, no. I did catch the scoreline and that, but I didn't watch the highlights. Peter says everything's all right. Yep, everything's all right, Peter. That cough sounds rough, mate. Still can't get rid of it. Nah, yeah, it is rough. It's I think it's the anemia. It's affecting my breathing a lot, and my hands and my feet feel cold, and I feel really weak. It's really frustrating because in my head I want to go out and I want to lose weight, and there's things I want to do, but I just don't have the energy to do it until they find out what's causing it. That's the key thing, because my iron levels are okay. Normally, if you've got anemia, they give you iron supplements, but my iron levels are okay. It could possibly be the alcohol. It could be something else. Somebody commented on that video the other day about the alcohol and anxiety and said that they had a similar thing and they was giving folic acid. Hopefully it'll be something simple like that. Something simple that once I know what it is and I start taking it, it will be better. But yeah, the cough is not normally there. It's just this year. And it sort of comes and goes. But apparently because of the anemia, I'm very prone because my body's not. The doctor said something. I'm not a scientist, but it said something about my body is not making enough red blood cells, which means the white blood cells, which apparently carry oxygen around the body, don't have enough cells to latch onto or something. So basically, my body's not making enough oxygen is the problem, which is why I'm struggling to breathe. And it also means my immune system is very bad. So the fact I always seem to have a cough or something or other is probably due to the anemia. And hopefully once that's sorted, and if we can get the old more white blood cells pumping a bit more oxygen around the body, then I'll start fixing some of the problems. That's the hope. COVID, get 10 jabs. I've got to just said it now. Get arrested for calling a person with a dick a man up in Scotland these days. Well, it's fucked. It really is, mate. It's up to people, whatever they've done as far as the that situation goes, because the media are a big make you feel bad if you didn't get it done. So I completely understand it. But I personally didn't have none of it. Neither did my girlfriend or any of our kids. Completely refused it. And I still get constant messages now saying to have it done. Despite all the things that have happened in the world to a lot of people that did have it done. Isn't that weird? I've not tried the big job, but I'd love to. That's like the daddy version of proper job, isn't it? Just playing Assassin's Creed, and I'm in Sparta at the moment. Just makes me think of the film 300. I like games like Assassin's Creed, but I don't have the patience. I end up just running around like a lunatic, full guns blazing. Like, it's supposed to be about stealth and picking the right move and all that. I'm just more of a run around like a nutter jobby sort of person. So I don't think I'll get the most out of them kind of games. I tend to get through them, but I don't think I'll get through them in the way the game's designed, sort of thing, you know. Got to go, mate. It's been fun. Catch you next week. Let Crow, thank you, mate, for tuning in. And thank you very much for joining the membership. I really do appreciate it, mate. And yeah, see you next week, hopefully, mate. You take care, mate. Arca 94, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweater already. Mum's spaghetti. Dan Sullivan, have you had your thyroid function levels checked? No, I haven't, Dan. But it wouldn't surprise me if that's one of the things they check next. I don't know. But I'm just getting peed off of it. For someone my age, I mean, I'm 38, 39 this year, but I've just had so many health problems for so long. And it winds me up. It's like, why me? It's like, my siblings are a lot older than me. They're not fat. They drink a lot like me, but they don't have all the health problems. I've got mental health problems, but there's just all sorts. It just pees me off, like one thing after another. I blame not being able to work as a lot of it, especially the weight gain, and just having that purpose to get up, go to work, especially in brothers and that they do physical jobs. It allows them to get away with being a beer monster, I suppose, if they're bricklayers and stuff like that, doing physical jobs. You're burning it off, aren't you? My ex-wife drove me to drink. At least I can thank her for that. Come on, Phil. Parramatta. Imagine wanting to hang around in women's toilets for a point. You speak wisely, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Odyssey was amazing. I've not played an Assassin's Creed game for a while, actually. Drop the hubby at the pub. All right, let me just check if Simo and Rate My Beer are still alive. Maybe it's a good time. Now I've had a few beers for me and whoever feels like it to gate crash him. Simo's on. Bloody hell, we've got more people watching than I have.
The spiced pineapple rum of 40%.
But Rate My Beer. I Rate My Beer. Oh, they got 4 of them. See, that puts me off a little bit. I'm gonna get copyrighted. There's 4 of them on, so if I join it, it'll be 5, which I think it's not really my cup of tea. That it's not really my cup of tea. Being live for too many people, 1 or 2, I don't mind, but I go quiet in that. I've got 19. Yeah, I've got more people watching than what them 4 have. Can't believe it, you nutters. Dan Sullivan, all the best. I hope you get better soon. I've got to get some sleep. Dan, you sleep well, mate, and I really appreciate you joining the live and supporting the channel, mate. Peter says, I've already drunk 6 beers at 7%, but I listen carefully like I was in college. You call me Sir Beer Monster. I like you, Peter, mate. It's the first thing I've seen you on one of the lives, actually, but even though I can tell I think you're Polish, I can tell you got a good sense of humour. Yeah, as far as computer games go, I would like to start getting into them more. I think it's just, I'm more of like, I get into a game and I almost get obsessed with that game, and like I want to be the best at it, and I just keep playing the same game, trying to master like every aspect of that game. And then after a few years, I think, why have I just literally for 2 years solid played the same bloody game every day when there's so many games out there? It's just something I do. Elden Ring would dominate you. Do you like racing games? Oh, Michael, by the way, I watched Simon's, or a bit of Simon's life last night, and I'll see you again in the chat. Sats beer monster o'clock, and he done what he normally does. He was reading the comments. He was like, he read it. He was like, "It's beer monster o'clock," says Michael with an awkward sort of look on his face. You do make me laugh, mate. And also, interestingly, I wonder if our little beer monster movement had anything to do with this, but he actually started streaming Thursdays now, Simon, and he said on his live that the reason was because he doesn't get as many views on a Friday as he used to. Maybe our little like crew, some of them used to watch Simon, I don't know. Or maybe people were just not enjoying him as much as they used to. There's always that, isn't there? But I still watch him, but I don't watch him live because I'm normally streaming. But I watch it on the replay. There's a lot of people's lives I watch, but I watch it on the replay, and it's annoying because sometimes you watch it back, you're enjoying it, and you really want to say something, and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's not live, shit." And so that's the thing with watching the replay. It's good, especially if you really like that streamer. But the fact that you can't engage, you're like, "Oh yeah," and sometimes you forget that you're not watching it live until you go to comment, and then you're like, "Shit." Can Peter dance? Can you dance, Peter? Is there like some mad little Polish dance you're going to bust out with? Hey. It gets a bit messy when there's too many and a chat gets ignored, which is understandable when there's many others talking. Yeah, I agree, Ali D. And for me, what I enjoy about these lives is the chat and the interaction with the chat. You never know what people are going to ask. You never know who's going to turn up. And I feel like you people have taken the time to join the live. So I want to be able to answer as many of your questions as I can. If I miss some, I do apologize, but just know that I'll try my best to answer as many. And when you've got like 4 people talking at once, the whole time there's a conversation going on between, even if it's not you, but other people, you can't just butt over that and say, "Oh, this person says hello in the chat." It's a little, there's ways of doing it, I think, but it's not easy. But it's difficult. I think what you can do is maybe every 10 minutes, like chat to the people you're live with, perhaps, and take turns each of talking, like focus the camera on each person, and then maybe every 10-15 minutes, right, we're going to catch up on the comments, and then quickly go through everybody's comments and answer them, and then go back to the chat again, but it's not nice to not have that engagement, me anyway. is that sex site. Do you like racing? Oh, so Mike, I didn't answer your question, did I? Oh, Elden Ring, is that a sex site? That's a game. Lord of the Ring piece. That's a sex site, not really, but it'd be a bloody good name for one, wouldn't it? Do you like racing games? I do like racing games. I don't really play them as such now, but I used to like the old Forza, and I like Mario Kart. I play Mario Kart with the kids sometimes on the Switch. We do like the 4-player mode, and that gets really competitive. What I love about Mario Kart is it's so easy to pick up and play. Like, even the missus plays it, and the kids, even the ones who ain't really into computer games that much, they can still pick it up and play. And it even like gives a chance to like the people who are not so good at the game by giving them like little stars and boosts and that, so they can catch up. So that's Nintendo are good at that sort of thing. Like, we got the Switch there. We don't play it often. It's not a game. Gay? It's not gay. It's not a gaming console that we use daily, but we bring it out at Christmas and stuff like that, and random times we'll play it as a family, like Mario Kart and Mario Party and Smash Brothers and stuff like that. They're good like games. Like back in the day when you used to play GoldenEye and Mario Kart, 4-player split screen and all that. Can't beat it, can you? It's all right playing people over the world and that. But sometimes it's just fun when you're in the same room and it's like competitive but fun. Pole dancing. Get me on pole dancing, OnlyFans. That's where the money's at. Get the tits out. Really. The o'clock was. Eastern Europe are great people. I've just met a Ukrainian lady. Once you understand the blunt nature, you find them really nice. Yeah. Different cultures. Some of them are blunt and you think, how weird. But then when you realise that's just how they are, you sort of warm up to them a bit, Just having banks mild. 3.5% of them. Got to get them from home bargains. Good drop. It might be the style beer I like the least. I've had it before. Oh, how disgusting. I just coughed a load of shit up. Sorry, people. Ugh. I gotta wash it. Yeah, Banks Mild, I've had it. I'm not sure if I've reviewed it. It's quite nice for a session there, isn't it? Michael Slocum says, yeah, I've seen his reaction to it. So funny. I find Simon annoying now. He overreacts to how the beer looks, and it gets a hard on if the beer tastes. No, go stone the crows. What a bit. I mean, there's a lot. I think there's a lot of good beer channels out there. Different people, different personalities. Some people were like others, some more than others, but I think there's a place for everyone, depending on what you like. But Simon's definitely the main one in the UK as far as subscribers and that go, because he's been doing it about 14 years. Nutter. We all like the lives, but more importantly, it's your health. No need to do it to keep us happy. No, I like doing it. Ian. If I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't do it. It's the same as the beer reviews. Believe me, the money you make from YouTube is pennies. It's not like, oh, I'm doing this to try and make money. Don't get me wrong. One day, if it did make any money, as a bonus, I do this because I enjoy it, and it gets me talking to people. It helps my confidence. It gets rid of some negative energy when I can have a little rant. And I don't really have any friends, like I said in that video the other day. So It's nice, kind of like virtual friends, isn't it? Simon's alright. Only time I've seen him obviously biased is that wheat bread beer. The Micro Machines on the Mega Drive was a great game. Yeah, I remember playing that one with my mates. I think we had like a multi-tab adapter so we could play 4-player. And yeah, you're knocking each other off the edge and all that sort of thing. That was a great game. It's one of them games, LED, they've tried to bring back a few times, haven't they? But it's just never had that same magic. And I don't think it ever will. But I'm sure they'll try and bring it back again another time. But I just don't think it's one of them games I think suited the kind of 16-bit graphics era and stuff as well, you know. Lord of the Rings. Is that Lord of the Rings or Lord of the Ring piece? You've got the trilogy extended version in 4K Blu-ray. Must be talking about Lord of the Ring piece then. Narco. Jennifer Cross. I hope that's the Peter Jackson, not Paul. Jennifer's thinking the same thing as me. Sub 10. I've got a better palette than Simon. Is a shitty reviewer. Now I unsubscribed a long time ago. Each to their own. That's what I say. People can watch whoever they want to watch. And if you don't like someone, don't watch them. And I have certain opinions about a few channels, but I'm not just going to sort of sit here on live and cause drama. But I must say, Simon is not one of them channels I really have an issue with. Sometimes I find him a bit annoying and I just switch off. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I find it quite entertaining. And he's always got plenty of content to watch, that's for sure. Michael Slocum, I prefer you and Simo because of my personality. That's what I mean. There's smaller channels like me and Simo. Some people prefer them. Maybe after 14 years, me and Simo might be able to do it for a living. Who knows? What do you do for a living? I drink beer. No, what do you do for a living, mate? No, I drink beer. I mean, you can say what you want about Simon, but he's done all right for himself. And he might not be a rich man, but the man just drinks beer. He doesn't have to go work. He's got his own house. And his job title is basically, I drink beer and say what I think of it. And I make enough money to pay for my mortgage. Can't knock him. Think of him whatever you like, but fair play, he's winning at life in that sense, isn't he? Good review is just an idea what to try you're not always going to like, but points you to things to have a go of. Yeah, I agree, Jennifer. Like, some beers I'll try and I genuinely just think they're shit. Some of them I'll try and it's not my cup of tea, but I can see why people would like it. And I think that's important as well. Even if it's not your thing, you know, thinking, is there a market for this beer? You know, Jamie Watton, come back from the pub, a little bit pissed. How you doing, Jamie, mate? Hope you're doing well, fella. And I hope your problems and that have sorted themselves out a bit, mate, after a few weeks back. Peter says, I've never been to Great Britain, but love your country. We Poles are behind you. Thank you, Peter, mate. And maybe someday you can come visit. I've never been to Poland either, but I'd like to go. I'm at the stage now. It's been so long since I've been abroad, I'd like to go anywhere that isn't here. just to experience a different country and a different culture. Simon D. Hello all, just home from a dark beer festival. Bit squiffy, to be honest. Didn't enjoy it then, Simon. And thanks for joining the stream, mate. I hope you're doing good. Dark beer festival sounds fun. Elizabeth says, do aliens drink owl? That's a random question. Elizabeth's on the magic mushrooms tonight. Marco, get your minds out of the gutter, you lot. Go on, Jamie, you pulled. No, Jennifer is a taken lady. She just gets a bit flirtatious after a few beverages. I'm not sure what I was going to say then, and I feel like I just said something in between. Message retracted from Parramatta. You ordered off beer merchants, pal. No, I haven't, mate. You right, Callum?
Yeah.
You want to say hello? Callum wants to say hello.
Hello, darling.
Come on, I thought your balls had dropped. Didn't sound like it then, son. You all right? You doing?
Mum just told me to leave her purse down
All right. What are you doing? Going back to the new Xbox?
there. No, go in bed now.
Right. Good night.
I scared Mum
How?
with it. I saw a light coming from her room. And then she was just sitting there watching on her phone. I walked in there, said, good night, Mum. And she was like, ugh. And she was like,
Let's go mad at you.
she said, I'm surprised you didn't hear it right up there.
No, I didn't hear it actually. I'm sure she should tell me all about it in the morning.
Then she's like, I thought you was out there. I'm going to be like, I can't be off.
Alright, good night, son. See you in the morning.
Yeah.
Talk about that, peeps. Just saying that night to one of the boys. Number 7 there, Peter. Go on, my son. Get it down, you mate. Ali D says, I don't mind Simon. His videos on the things which ain't beer makes me laugh. The chainsaw one he did was hilarious. Got to the thought of fellow Welshman too. Sub 10 leads. No, but worried about you. Narco 94 says, Adam, you'd love these Polish beers. Having them on draft out there. Oh, yeah, I bet they're lovely on draft. I'd love to one day. Go and stay around Peter's and we'll get mash up, mate, yeah? First thing probably say to me, my name's not Peter, you motherfucker. Jennifer Cross says no, but they do like prob. Jennifer Cross don't. It's all right, I think so. Beard meets F. Competitive. Oh yeah, I know beard meets food. Yeah. So I know him. I don't know him, but I know of his channel. I've watched some of the stuff he eats, and it's absolutely mental. Because he's not even a big guy, is he? I just think he don't eat all week, and he just like, see him eating all this food, it's absolutely mental. Callum is pure Chad. Savage, Adam. What's savage? My neighbour is Polish, and every now and again he gives me the proper Polish lagers in cans. It's night and day compared to UK. The UK brewed stuff's no good, man. Bed at 11:30. Come on, lad. Players till 6 a.m. Having a beer. I'm on my 14th beer of the night. Jesus. That's the spirit, Jamie. Anyone seen the rude guy postman stuff on YouTube? Had me giggling. I've not come across that actually. Oh, said about his balls. I mean, his balls have dropped, but that's why I was surprised when he was like, "Hello, darlings." I can't even do it anymore like I used to. My voice is just gone. Even though I've got a really deep voice, for some reason I used to be able to go really high, like the Bee Gees. Like it's so random. But since I've been ill, it just won't happen. Well, Callum's like going through that weird stage where he's clearly his balls have dropped. One day he's like, "Oh, Dad," but then the next day it's almost like it kind of goes back a bit to being a bit squeaky, and it's kind of like you don't know what Callum you're going to get at the minute. That's why I was a bit surprised then when he'd done the bye-bye darlings, because when I spoke to him last, he was like, "Oh, Dad, I'm hungry. Give me some food." Michael Slocum, I find another thing annoying about Simon, the constant IPA videos. I think IPA tastes like flowers and bitterness. It's not for you, yeah. That's fair enough. A lot of people like IPA though, Michael, as well. And there's lots of different types. I'll just review whatever I can get me filthy hands on. Good night for me. It's very rude. Postman Pat goes dogging. Postman Pat goes dogging. Jennifer, what sort of things do you put in Google to come across it like that? Jamie Watton, by the way, Nottingham Forest are scabs apparently. Why are we all slagging off Simon? He's a white, just drinking beers like the rest of us. I'm not slagging him off. If people want to slag him off, let them slag him off. For free world, isn't it? Can't all like everyone. I'm sure there's plenty of people who slag me off on their streams as well. But I personally think Simon's alright. I don't like all of his stuff. I don't agree with everything he says. But I find him quite entertaining to watch. And I think he's done really well for himself. Of course, I'd like to be in the position he's in one day. That ever will be. Especially with all my freaking problems. Have you tried Beck's Gold? It's a nice beer. Beck's Gold? Don't think I have, Jamie. Where'd you get that from? Watch this later. It's your sense of humour. Oh, God. Lord of the Ring piece, Postman Pat goes dogging special. Don't think I've ever said them words in the same sentence before. They say you learn something every day, didn't you? Who would have thought Postman Pat was like that? Smash that 6-pack of Steinhauser. Oh, it's new. 15 cans, $13.50. It's so nice. Where'd you get it from, Jamie? And how strong is it? It ain't no piss water, is it? Because that seems quite cheap for 15 cans. Ain't no like 3.4% version of Beck's. They've brought it out just to try and save themselves loads of money. Ian says, Simon is great. knows his stuff. Like Marmite, you either love him or loathe him. Yeah. You know what's really weird, Ian, is you say that. And I use that expression when I'm reviewing certain beers. It's a bit of a Marmite beer. You're either going to love this or hate it. But whenever something's Marmite, I don't know why. And even Marmite itself, I just think it's all right. A bit like Simon. I think he's all right. I don't love him. I don't hate him, but I think he's all right. And I do watch him sometimes. The same as Marmite. I don't love Marmite and I don't hate it, but I think it's all right. And all the beers where I say, yeah, it's a bit of a Marmite beer, this one. I think some people are going to absolutely love this and some people are going to be like, oh. And I always think their Marmite beers are all right. But again, I don't love them. I'm just sort of like, weird. I don't know. Worst beer ever rated? Oh, and that's a good question, Elizabeth. There's one I've done. It was probably a really crap review, but the beer was really bad. I can even remember the name of it, and it's one. It's probably in the first sort of month or two when I started YouTube. It was called Mango Number 5. Mango Number 5. You know, a bit like that song. The dud, 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 dud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one. Mango Number 5. It was a mango pale ale, and it was in Home Bargains. It was absolutely disgusting. It smelt like puke and tasted like puke, as far as I remember. And I spat it out outside the back door because it was disgusting. And I didn't realise that my daughter's coat was on the washing line. Because it was like, as soon as I got my head around the corner, I spat it out and I spat it all over her coat. And she never could get the smell of this beer out of the coat. It was a brand new super dry one as well, guys. Yeah, that was quite a bad one. Other bad ones that sort of stand out from memory, and this is the one thing about Simon that I don't like, even though he's a channel and a guy, I think he's okay. There was a Christmas themed Glencairn beers. There was a Christmas pudding custard stout and something else. There was 2 Christmas themed beers that I reviewed in December from Home Bargains, and they were both like shockers. They were absolutely awful. Like, you know, you're talking worst of the worst. One of the stouts tasted like Coke, a flat, cheap Coke, not even Coca-Cola, like roller cola. Like, it was just so bad, and it was like a 1 out of 10. I think I gave it. And then a couple of weeks later, I see Simon review it, and he gave it an 8 out of 10. There's no way. And he even Stone the Crows it, and I know why Stone the Crows it. And that's because Glencairn, who made this particular beer, are like a sister company of Glen Afric, who he sponsors, who he's sponsored by. So he was never going to say it was good. I mean, he was never going to say it was bad, if you know what I mean. So that's the only thing I don't like, is you don't know if you're getting the real review or whether it's somebody that he's getting paid by, which fair dues to the guy. He's in it to make money, and that's not necessarily him. That's not, I say it's something I don't know about Simon. It's nothing to do with Simon, but to do with Simon's reviews. I just feel some of them are disingenuine because of the pan note being chucked about, you know what I mean? Apart from that, as a person, I think he's a nice guy. I'm going to keep talking about Simon anyway. This is my fucking channel. I'm joking. Where were we? Postman Pat and his black and white slot, is that? He ain't had a sex change, is he? Max Gold is 4.9, but sold out on the website. Oh, it's 4.9. I'm definitely going to have to look into that one. Thank you for the suggestion, Jamie, and thanks for looking up the ABV, Jennifer. I'll have to try that. But where'd you get it, though? Tesco, and it's 6.1. 6.1% ABV and 15 cans of £13.50. That seems very cheap. Definitely give that a try. Is it brewed in Germany, Jamie? Buttery crumpet, hot pissing with Marmite is elite. What am I reading? Buttery crumpet with hot pissing with Marmite is elite. For some reason, I thought you were saying something filthy then. It just sounded a bit dirty, but it was perfectly innocent. It just sounded like a crumpet with some Marmite on. But the word crumpet can sort of mean a few things, can't it? It's so good. Jennifer Cross Foster's. What's the best, cheapest beer you've had? Best, cheapest beer. I'll show you. Best cheap beer. Not the best beer. If you're on a budget, best cheap beer for me is that they're 500ml cans, so they're pretty much a pint. You get 4 of them in today's day and age, £3.50. That's not a special offer. That's how much they cost. And it's brewed by the German Purity Law. And it's Aldi's Weinbacher Pilsner. So if you're struggling for a beer and you're on a budget, for the price, that's a cracking lager. You know, it's not the best lager in the world, nothing like that. Find a better lager. 4 cans, 500ml cans of £3.50. Find a better lager than that, because I can't. Oh yeah, Aldi, that will be 100 quid, please. Right in that. I wish. But no, I just say it's good because I think it's good. I'm not sponsored by Aldi. I think some people are starting to think that I'm sponsored by Home Bargains. I'm not, I promise you. I just like Home Bargains. I like a bargain. What can I say? And I just like the fact that I never know what's going to be in there. Yeah, I mean, it says something when I think Jennifer already said it. I didn't even have to get up. Didn't even need to get up in the end, did I? So Simon was shitting. Glen Afric Kettle Sour is elite, to be fair. Again, like Glen Afric is a good brewery. I'm not insulting Glen Afric. Glen Afric is a fantastic brewery, but they have like a sister company called Glen Canich, who used to make beers for Home Bargain, and they were near enough always dog shit. But because they're links to Glen Afric, who Simon's sponsored by, he would say their beers were really good when they were terrible. And every other reviewer literally said they were terrible. You know, even if somebody kind of liked it, they would never give it like a 10 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, okay, it's not very good, but maybe for £1 a can, I'll give it a 5 or whatever. But to say like Stone the Crows, 8, 9s and 10 out of 10s, you're trying to kid, like, do you know what I mean? But to be fair, he's getting paid by Glen Afric, and he obviously wants to keep his money coming in, don't he? So I don't blame the guy. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes it makes you think, if you can do that for that review, you know, you're not sure what's genuine and what's not. That's why I've always said I would never take any money for a false positive review, and I have been offered. But I won't do it. That in cans, yeah. Yeah, Jamie's 4 cans, 350, 500ml cans as well. Brewed by the German purity law. So there's no syrup, there's no crap added. It's brewed the way lager's meant to be brewed. Although it's not the strongest, it's only 4.5%. It's not the best, but I think it's the best cheap lager, put it that way. Steinhauser, if you've got a bit more money, is also a very good cheap lager. It's better than the Weinbacher for me, but it is quite a bit dearer now. That's why I start off with them. The more I drink, I'll go on to the cheaper stuff because you don't really care after a while, do you? Michael Slocum, they are the best. Just talking about the things I found annoying about Simon. I prefer you. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. I really do. Beers of Europe. What's that link? I said Beers of Europe. Beck's Gold. Oh, God. 4.9%. Clear glass bottles, a worry. I'm guessing Jamie said this in cans, didn't he? But the version we get over here could be different, Jennifer. The one on Beers of Europe could be the German one. Perhaps they've made a different one for the UK market, which I can't see being 6.1% because they think we're a load of fannies and they make everything weaker, don't they? £3.50. Not up here in Scotland. Thanks, our bloody yeah. I feel sorry for you guys in Scotland. I really do. You've got social insanity. How do you go out to get beer? Social insanity. That's one way of putting it, mate. I'm not insane. Social anxiety. I've got an Uber. It's called my missus. Yeah, my missus drives, so she drives me back to where I need to go. I'm not allowed to drive because of my sleep apnea. I can randomly fall asleep. I do it all the time. I'm surprised I've not done it on a live yet, actually. One of the weird things is, because a lot of people, like when they drink, they fall asleep. I never fall asleep when I'm drinking, but during the day, I just fall asleep. If I get bored, that's it. So driving wouldn't be a good combination. I'm not allowed to drive because sleep apnea, is a condition you stop breathing in your sleep. So I have to wear this mask, and I've got it on a scale of 1 to 20, 20 out of 20. So I've got it really bad. And I've even fallen asleep walking down the street before. I was walking down the alleyway on a school run. I fell asleep and just went whack into the wall. And I was like, oh, can wake me up. Couldn't make it. I laugh about it, but in all seriousness, I'm just glad it weren't in the middle of the road or something. Couldn't have happened in a better place, a narrow alleyway. Pop down here south for a beer run. Yeah, you get your wife to get exactly that, mate. Yeah. I'm all right going out now. I never used to leave the house for years. Now I'm in a place I'll go out, but the car, I've got to know the car's there. Because then if I have a funny moment, once I'm in the car, I'm all right. And one little perk being disabled is got the little blue badge in the old car. Even though I don't drive the car, I can put it in the car and the missus gets all the best parking spots. So I can get to the car easily, Even though I've got legs and I can walk and I'm not disabled in that sense. Yeah, that's why they say not all disabilities are visible. And I'm a big advocate for that because my one's not visible either. It's kind of frustrating sometimes you see people take the disabled parking spot and me and missus get out of the car and they're looking like, you can tell you get that look like, you've got legs. He doesn't look very disabled to me. Oh, tossers. Glencannick, the Hazy Power one, is not a bad one, to be fair. The others suck arse though. Yeah, they do the odd okay one. LED. I'm not saying they're all bad, but the bad ones were really bad. Like the milkshake IPAs they done, the Christmas beers. There was one day I done for my Halloween special. I put a mask on and everything for it's Halloween, and the beer was terrible. Should know better. Excellent value, yeah, it is, Elizabeth. Sub 10 just subscribe to the Beer Monster. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sub 10. I appreciate it, mate. I didn't know you wasn't already subscribed. It's a lot of alreadys, but I think it made sense. But thank you, mate. Thank you for subscribing. It's always appreciated. UK fannies. .6.1 in cans. It's the only one I could find. If it's 6.1% in cans, and it's 13.5 quid for 15 cans, I'll race you there. Girls call themselves taxi shoes. You're just as bad. Ian, if you were on death row, it sounds like it's going to be an interesting question, and you had the choice, what would be your last ever alcoholic drink be? Oh, what a question, you filthy slag. Oh, if I was on death row. Oh, see, if you was on death row, I don't know if you'd want the best beer you've ever had. That's what makes it a good question. But you're gonna want something really strong in you to sort of make it less scary before you get butchered. The old electric shock or whatever you're gonna. The strongest one, the strongest possible beer. There's a one called Snake Venom or something. It's like a 65% ABV lager. I'll have that, because by the time I've drunk that, I'll be unconscious. I won't even know about the execution, and I'll go away into heaven, pissed out me nut. Yeah, I might even be so drunk that the electrocution won't work. It just sewed me up. What a question that is. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just go for the strongest possible one, mate. What about you? If you're gonna throw out questions like that, what would you have, Ian, and why? And what would other people have if you're on death row and you've got one more beer or alcoholic drink? He said, so it could be any alcoholic drink. A bottle of whiskey, a whole bottle. Pretty cool. Well, mate, I messaged you the other day, and my iron level was low contraction. The other doctor will take it easy. Oh, are you the guy who messaged me about saying that you had anemia as well? Oh, contradiction. Oh, right. Your iron level was low. Contradiction. Take it easy, mate. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, it's nice to know I'm not alone. There's somebody else with anemia that, so that's nice to know, but it's not really. But it was nice to know that it wasn't just me that had anemia, but had good iron levels. But they're saying you was wrong and yours were actually low. Now I feel lonely. But good to see you in the live, mate. Thank you for joining. Where was I? Jamie says, I'm drinking it now, pal, 6.1. It's so good, 15 cans. Jamie, send me a picture of the can on Messenger, mate. You got me on Facebook, haven't you? Send me a picture of the can and the ABV. Not saying I don't believe you, but I want to know what it looks like as well, so that I can try and find it in Tesco's. Paramount, last ever drink would be Everclear. Just be monged out. Bottle of JD, says Jamie. LED on death row, I'd had something really strong and take my time sipping it. Yeah, you've got to have something strong in you. You're about to be killed, aren't you? It's not going to be. I'm going to go for a session IPA either. All right, we're just about to electrocute the bollocks out of you. What drink do you want, mate? I'll have a session IPA by Brewdog, please. You sure, mate? You can have whatever beer you want. I'll have a Foster Shandy, the new Foster Shandy, the 3% one. You know what? Fuck it, you're not getting your last drink. I'm going to kill you now, you slag. That's what you deserve, isn't it? The Jock Whiskey beer, that's 80% ABV. I'll have that, Jennifer. That'll do me. Don't mind a bit of whiskey. 8% ABV. Sounds quite sessionable. No, you don't want it to be sessionable. You just want to be out of it, didn't you? So that's the strongest one I've heard so far. I'll take that one, Jennifer. Chris Birchall. How you doing, Chris? Good to have you in, mate. Hi, Beer Monster. I watched your health video. Hope you're doing okay, brother. Thank you very much, Chris. Like, honestly, you guys have been so supportive. Like, it's really touched me, actually. Just how supportive people have been and how nice people have been. Because there was a part of me that was really scared about being so open with what I've been through and what I'm currently going through. And, it's an ongoing thing. And, like, it's honestly touched me. The amount of comments on that video, I think it's saying like 80 comments on that video now. Well, it says 80. Some of them are it's probably including my replies, but that's, like I say, I think that's the most commented, or one of the most commented videos I've ever made. And considering that I'm a beer channel and it's nothing to do with beer, that really says a lot about the world, doesn't it? And the amount of people that could relate to that video. It also shows that there are some understanding people in the world and not everybody's an arsehole. Because I was worried a lot of people were going to switch on me and, but I think a lot of people just appreciated the honesty and the realness of the video, which, it was really nice that people understood it. But yeah, I'm doing okay, Chris. Like I said to some people earlier, don't worry about me. It wasn't like a sort of cry for help or anything like that. I was just pretty much making people aware of my battle and my struggle with mental health. And it's a struggle that I've had pretty much all my life. I mentioned earlier, it started in primary school for me. Mental health, I just didn't realise it at the time. It's only when I got to 23, it got really bad, that I realised I had a problem, started getting diagnosed with a few things. And I realised that I even had it as a kid. But I just didn't know it because mental health didn't really exist back then. People didn't know what anxiety and things like that was, and agoraphobia. People just thought you were weird. You should do more ironing. That's a really rude way to talk to the Jennifer. Oh, that's what the medical reports are saying. Do more ironing. You should do the ironing more. My iron levels are okay. That's the thing. That's the problem I've got. That's what makes it the anemia a problem, because normally they give you an iron supplement. But I'm anemic. They said clearly anemic as well. but my iron levels are okay. They're not too high. They're not too low. They're like perfect. Work that one out. Basically, I've got a condition that people get through not having enough iron, but I've got enough iron. It probably wouldn't surprise me if it's the alcohol taking its toll on my body after years of using it as a way of coping with my anxiety. But I will keep you guys updated when I find out whether the news be good or bad, and I will let you guys know. You don't have me on Facebook, Jamie. Add me on Facebook then, mate. Let's go to my channel page, and there's links to my Facebook, and you're welcome to add me on Facebook. I will accept you all. If you go to the channel page, there's links for my Facebook and TikTok and stuff like that. Add me on Facebook, TikTok. Anything you get on TikTok, you're going to see on YouTube anyway. So I wouldn't really bother with that. But Facebook, yeah, because I always mention when I'm going live and that on Facebook, I put a little post out in case I ever randomly go live or whatever and you care, you'll find out. Here's another good question. If you met King Charles and was able to bring any alcoholic drink to share with him, what would you bring? I tell you, something really shit, because he's probably used to drinking all the posh stuff. Something proper shit that he's probably never had. Something that the really poor people have to drink. I'm like pissing it as well. Pop a greenie. Nah, I'm not a royalist. I've got nothing against them. I just don't really get it. I don't really get it. I just couldn't give a shit about the royal family. But I think about that about a lot of things. It's not like I'm against the royal family, but I just don't care. It's not because it's King Charles now, and before it was the Queen and everybody loved the Queen. I met the Queen, actually. So I liked her more than Charles just because I actually met her and she was nice to me. But yeah, I've never really been one to really care. But then I don't watch TV and that. I don't like to be influenced by all the things that they tell you should and shouldn't care about. Same as religion. I don't care about, I don't believe in any religion. I'm very simple like that. It's about 200 quid a bottle. Most pricks will have a Carlin. Yeah, give a Carlin. Give King Charles a Carlin. Have a Carlin, you rich slag. You posh twat, have a Carlin, you slag. Rubicon, 1,000 green bottles hanging on the wall. Hungry Bone 74. Strongest on sale at the minute. Oh, let's have a look, Jennifer. Oh yeah, that'll do. 75% beer. How can that be a beer? 75%. 75%. 75%. You'd probably just open it. I'll be like, reviewing it, tuck it in the glass. Let's check out the aromas. Good night, guys. BOSH. No shame in it, bro. There are plenty of people that support you. Thank you, Chris. Probably arsenic, mate. I had you, lad, then, pal. Yeah, you're all welcome to have me on Facebook, guys. Don't do social media, pal. Can't stand it. Got rid of my Facebook 5 years ago. Best thing I ever did. Fair play, mate. I don't really use my Facebook as like a, hey, look at me. I just post some of my reviews and that on there. And let people know when I'm going live. Put your family picture on there as well. You know, if the boy pukes all over me or sort of has a cake and gets it over his face, you know, I might put a picture of that up there or whatever, you know. Man cuddle. Gosh. Girls aren't the people think they are. They ain't nice people. It's put it in a nice way. King size airbed. Good to see you're happy tonight, pal. We didn't need to live every week, but when we see you and we know you're feeling okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't feel like I have to do it. I don't want people to feel like I have to do it. I do it because I want to do it. There was a moment earlier, just before I went to Home Bargains, where I almost put a post up saying I wasn't going to come live tonight because I was getting really anxious about the video I made the other day and what kind of reaction that might get on the live. Perhaps people might join the live and start being arseholes or whatever. I was a little bit worried. But in the end, I thought, sorry, if they join and they're being arseholes, I've got a little button here. It says, get the fuck out of here. I can kick them out, can't I? But luckily, like, we always just seem to get such a lovely bunch on these lives. Jamie Watton, mate, we all here for you. He was there for me. What happened to me Friday at a wedding, but you was there to help me out and take and have a drink with me. I will never forget that. Jamie, mate, it's the least I could do, mate. And that's what we've got to do. People got to be there for each other. Do you know what I mean? When people are down, these days, like the whole generation now, it's like, I'll get your phone out and take a picture of the person getting the shit kicked out of him instead of going and help them. So just kick people while they're down instead of helping people. It's good to talk. It is good to talk, even if it is, you know, sometimes a bit depressing and all that. We've all been there, haven't we? And yeah, you're more than welcome, Jamie, for the other week, mate. I could tell you had a right rough day, and I really, really did feel for you, mate. Right, I'm off, mate. I was only going to be here for a half hour. I need to wake up in 5 hours. Oh, get some kit, mate. Great night, Ad and chat. Ali D, mate. You know, I love you to bits, mate. Thank you for joining alive. And I hope you get up on time tomorrow. Don't blame me if you don't. Yeah, I'm kind of getting to that stage where I'm probably going to jump off in a minute myself. I might jump on if Simo's still going for a little while to say hello, because I feel a bit rude because I said I'd jump on later. And I do think a lot of Simo. He's a nice guy. And he was one of the first people when I made that video that messaged me personally, not on the video itself. If you need a chat, mate, I'm always here. And Simo is a good guy. But I've got a lot of time for him. So what I might do is call it there, guys. And if you do want to see a bit more, if he's still going, I'll jump on with Simo in about 5 minutes. Gonna drain the anaconda, get another beer, and you can join Simo Sup's channel. Last time I checked, it was him, Rate My Beer, and a few others, but some of them may have left now. I'm not sure. But I just want to take a second to thank you all so much. I was so worried about posting the video the other day, and it seems to have such a massive impact. And so many people spoke up about the problems that they're going through. And I honestly can't thank you enough for all the support you've given me this week, guys. And I really mean that, like, from the bottom of my heart. I know I'm a bit of a joker and I like to mess around and that, but I was absolutely touched. That video's now got nearly like 1,000 views and loads of comments. And just, it made me feel like I'd done the right thing by talking about my problems. And it made me feel like I helped a few other people. and it made me realise how loyal you guys are to me. And I really, really appreciate that. It really touched me, all the support in that. So thank you very much, people. I'm waffling now, and yeah, like I say, there may be a few less videos from now on, but I'll do my best. I promise that. And I'm away next week, so there might not be a live next Friday. I will let you know. I'm not sure what day we're coming back, but yeah, I might do it when I come back on the Monday or something instead to make up for it, because I like the lives. Anyway, I love you all. Until next one, guys. You know what I'm going to say, didn't you? Anyone? Simo gone to bed, is he? Never forget, we're all here for you. Thank you, Jamie. Good shout, mate. Let's all pop on and see Simo. Bye-bye, darlings. Let's see if he's still about, yeah? Thank you, guys.